Um, let's get into being a slow or a non-responder, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm going back to the car. I need my coffee. We're not about to do this. Reindeer had her coffee. I'm not doing this. So here's the thing, right? So I had to do a little tiny bit of research into this. There's not a whole lot of content on it. And I think it's because there are not, the number of people that don't respond to Zepbound, and I'm specifically talking about Zepbound Manjaro tirzepatide because tirzepatide has the GLP and GIP component, whereas with Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, it's only the GLP-1 component. And it seems like people are more likely to have problems on Ozempic. Like, granted, don't take my word for it because I haven't taken Ozempic, but from what I can tell, when it comes to people complaining about just simply having zero progress, more so than not, that happens on like Ozempic or Wegovy, and probably more so on Ozempic because I think Wegovy actually came out with higher doses. But either way, they have more non-responders than Zepbound. So I specifically want to focus on Zepbound Manjaro. But okay, so let's just get the non-responders out of the way, right? That is a very small, tiny fraction of a group of people, okay? People that simply just get no type of impact from tirzepatide. Now, here's the thing, right? I have a little bit of a problem, a little piece of a problem with the concept of a quote unquote non-responder and how people throw that term around so loosely. And from the title, you can see that I'm talking about people that self-diagnose, because there are people, you'll see them in the support groups, you'll see them on different social media platforms. There are people that will assume that because they're on a 2.5 or a 5 milligram and haven't lost any weight or have lost little weight, or because they're still hungry, that they're a non-responder. What? Like, first of all, let me segue into slow responders real quick, because I looked up Eli Lilly's classification for a slow responder. And Eli Lilly classifies a slow responder as a person that loses less than 5% of their body weight in 12 weeks, right? I forgot to look up what they classify as a non-responder. But they classify a slow responder as a person that loses less than 5% of their body weight in 12 weeks. So for example, I started out at 242 pounds. Losing less than 5% of my body weight in 12 weeks would have been roughly losing less than 1 pound per week. And there were some weeks that I definitely lost less than a pound. Like, it wasn't consistent at all. There was some months where I lost no weight. There were some months where I only lost a pound, maybe 3 pounds. There were some months where I lost 5 to 10 pounds. So it was all over the place for me personally. Do I consider myself a slow responder? I'm going to say no, and I'll tell you why in a second. Shut the hell up, Kevo. What's your mama's OnlyFans? I know that hoe on there. Oh, gosh. See, you got me acting stupid this morning. Reindeer, just go ahead and time them out before I start talking about people's parents. Okay, so anyway. So when it comes to non-responders and people being up in arms and panicking, saying or feeling that they are a non-responder, it's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. What exactly are we considering not responding now? Because the only people, mind you, this is my perspective, but I forgot to look up Lily's definition for this. But the only people that I would consider people that don't respond are people that get zero appetite suppression on any dose, right? So if you've never made it past a 5 milligram, or if you've never even made it past a 10 milligram, if you have never made it to the highest dose of Zepbound, how could you possibly know that you are a non-responder? And I can almost guarantee that most of these people, not the ones that Eli Lilly have studied, but I'm talking about the people that are self-diagnosing, I can almost guarantee that most of these people have not made it up to the 15 milligram and got zero appetite suppression. I'm calling cap on that. I'm calling complete and absolute cap on that. There's no fucking way. I'm not saying that there's no way that some people, I'm not saying that a non-responder doesn't exist. Thank you. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that the people that are saying that they're non-responders, or the people that are telling other people that they're non-responders, those people aren't getting up until the 15 milligram and being like, okay, I've tried every dose of Zepbound or Manjaro and I just cannot get any level of appetite suppression. I just cannot do it. I just can't do it. Now, for the ones that Eli Lilly actually studied and confirmed, like if they were a part of the clinical trials or whatever, and they just got no response on any of the doses, I would say potentially what I would think of those people is that maybe they just don't have a problem with the GLP pathway to begin with. Like maybe they don't have a problem with their GLP-1 hormone. You know what I mean? Like maybe these people just aren't broken in that way. Maybe some people don't like the word broken. I'm broke, okay? I'm broke dead, okay? With the problems that I have with food and the problems that I have with weight and the metabolic problems that I have, not necessarily metabolic conditions or diseases, but like just being metabolically unhealthy in general by being obese. Yeah, I'd say I would consider something being off or broken, especially when it comes to hormones. That is why this medication works so well for so many people, because clearly something is missing, maybe the GLP-1 hormone, or if it's there, it's not registering. Okay? Like it could totally be the case that we all have the proper amount of GLP-1 in our system already, but it's not registering. Just like this happens with insulin resistance, and just like this happens with leptin resistance. Okay, leptin is I believe it's like a hunger hormone or something like that. So when it comes to people considering themselves to be non-responders, I'm going to go out on a limb and say these people just don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about, and they're looking at, they're comparing themselves to other people. So for example, someone will be on semaglutide. You know what? I actually think it's pronounced semaglutide, but I'm gonna keep saying semaglutide, okay? How are we doing? It's been 15 minutes. I'm still doing okay. My shoulders are a little hurty, but I'm doing okay. All right, so there will be people that are on semaglutide and will compare themselves or their weight loss progress to people on tirzepatide. But tirzepatide has already been proven to be a more superior GLP-1 medication, and it comes in higher doses. So how could you possibly compare your progress to a person on Zepbound? How could you do that? That doesn't even make any sense. That's not an apples. Just because they are medications in the same class does not mean that is an apples to apples comparison. I don't think it is at all, because they're two completely different medications. If semaglutide had a GIP component, then maybe, no, even then it's still a different medication. It's still a different medication. Either way, it's still a different medication. So that's another reason that like I'm calling cap on the whole non-responder idea. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Of course, it exists in some people, because Eli Lilly has confirmed that there are some people that just will not respond. But the likelihood that that's the average person is slim to none. Okay, so that's first of all. Traffic is just too loud, so let me go back this way. Okay. Another thing about that is being on compound versus brand. Now, y'all know how I feel. I don't care what nobody say. Being on brand and being on compound is not the same thing. It's not. It's not the same. I'm not saying compound doesn't work. Of course it works. I lost 40 pounds on compound. I'm not saying compound shouldn't be used. I'm not saying that at all. As a matter of fact, sidebar real quick. So someone, I had a commenter comment on my Mochi video. They were asking about the price because they couldn't see the price on the website. So I went to the website to try to find the price for her. And y'all, Mochi got compound for $1.99 at all doses, and I didn't know that. They didn't have that when I was on Mochi. When I was on Mochi, only the lower doses were at $1.99, and then the price increased with some of the higher doses. Can y'all hear me okay? My headphones are like pinched a little bit. If it sounds staticky at all, let me know. So yeah, so $1.99 for the lower doses, and then the price increased. That was the model for a lot of telehealth companies at the time, that the price would increase with the dose. Well, I hadn't been to Mochi's site in a while. And when I saw that $1.99 for all doses, I was like, there was the spirit of compound was almost revived in me. The spirit, hi Nick, thank you for commenting. Man, I had a moment, I was like, nah. I was like, I just can't with the mixing with the B12. Mochi has already proven themselves to be somewhat irresponsible. I'm not sure I can trust them. I don't really like the compounding pharmacy. Well, I can't say Mochi's working with Red Rock. I don't know that. But I don't want to risk, like, it's just, it would be too much of a risk for me to even go backwards like that. Like, I just don't feel like being bothered. But man, that $1.99, I was like, do you know what I could do with an extra $300 a month? Oh my God. Thank you, Reindeer. Definitely subscribe, and you can click the link that's pinned if you would like to become a member. I have 3 membership tiers. Just Vain is the lowest tier, where you can get badges and access to members only videos and live streams. There's the Venetian tier, and then there's the VVS tier. So be nice, support me, subscribe, and consider becoming a member. Okay, so I was a little taken aback by the $1.99 for all doses. I'm like, ooh, Eli Lilly gonna have to work hard to get them customers. Like, ooh, they gonna either have to sue Mochi into oblivion and ruin them as a company, or they gonna have to get Zepbound for $149, which I don't think they're gonna do, or get it to $1.99, which I don't think they're gonna do. But you know me, I'm team, just get the brand. Okay, back to my original point. So what I was getting at was, there's no way. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I do not want to offend anybody. But there is no way you can be on compound and say you are a non-responder. Nope. Can't do it. You didn't even try brand, and you're talking about you're a non-responder. I get it. Same active ingredient, right? Ideally, it should work no matter what. Ideally, right? But everybody's situation isn't always ideal. And considering that Eli Lilly did the research, Eli Lilly knows the statistics. Eli Lilly created the product, the original, to try compound and then consider yourself a non-responder. No, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, that don't even halfway make sense. That don't make sense. That does not make sense. There's no way. Like, honestly, I'm so sorry, but like, if somebody said to me, oh, I tried tirzepatide, but I didn't respond. 1, did you make it up to the highest dose? If your answer is no, do not come to me telling me you're a non-responder, because you didn't even try all the doses. Like, you never know, especially if you're not obese, right? Because let's assume that for the majority of people that are obese, we can already tell that something is wrong, right? Something is wrong clearly with our hormones, because we got to the point of being obese. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with our appetite. Something is wrong with our cravings. Something is wrong with our brain chemistry and our hormones. But not everybody that gets on a GLP-1 is obese, right? Jacqueline Hill. she was obese. She was obese, but she claims that she started a GLP-1 recently and then stopped. So if we take her word for it, which we don't, but if we did, if we take her word for it, she started after she had already gotten beyond her point of obesity. Okay, Lizzo, whatever. Anyway, point being, if you're already pretty close to your ideal weight, then maybe the lower doses are not going to work for you, because you potentially have already done a lot of the work to heal whatever problems that you were having, right? Because if you're losing weight successfully, ideally you're doing something other than just eating less, right? Ideally you're working on other things that would potentially get your hormones in better shape so that you can keep that weight off, or so that it doesn't come back as quickly. But the point that I'm trying to make is there are plenty of factors other than it just didn't work for me when it comes to somebody that says they did not respond. And then, like, what do we consider or not considering a non-responder? Are we talking about somebody that just didn't get food noise suppression? Are we talking about somebody that just didn't get appetite suppression? Because appetite and food noise suppression are two different things. Are we talking about somebody that simply didn't lose weight, but they did get the appetite, or like are we talking about somebody that just didn't lose weight? Like, I don't know. So the point is, the people that are saying that they're non-responders, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry. I said it. If you haven't even talked to your doctor, you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. 20 minutes, I'm still feeling actually pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say my pain has gone up or down. Walking is easier than standing still. Like, now that I've stopped, it's a tiny bit more noticeable, but I'm still feeling pretty good. So let's keep going. All right. So now let's get into the slow responders. Now, these are people that I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, if you think you are a slow responder and you are incredibly frustrated about it, one, calm down and stop being ridiculous, okay? Because we're not talking about you getting no progress or it not working for you at all. What we're talking about is it not working for you at the pace that you would like. And I would say 9 times out of 10, that's only because you're comparing yourself to other people. Yes, and I know this because people say it. I've seen people lose this much, but I've only lost this much. I've seen people accomplish this, but I've only accomplished that. I have a friend that people love I have a friend that. I have a friend that's on Zepbound. I have a friend that's on Ozempic, and she lost X, Y, and Z, and I'm only doing this, and da. Mind you, some people will lose up to 10 pounds in a month, which is incredibly aggressive, and still be like, I'm not losing weight fast enough. Here's where we get into them support groups. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and say, after today, after what I saw in that Mochi group, I don't think I'll ever create a support group. Like, this is support. You want support, you're gonna have to talk to me on a video. like until I start taking clients as a health coach, you're gonna have to talk to me on a live stream, because these support groups, I promise you, it's the blind leading the blind. Now, here's the thing, right? The whole point of a support group is supposed to be able to find community with people that are going through the same things you're going through, sharing some of the same experiences, being able to guide you through your experience based on where they've already been, right? The problem is, none of these people, okay, how do I put this? This is probably going to be a little controversial. But what I'm seeing in these support groups is that the reason it's the blind leading the blind, because everybody feels like they're unsuccessful. Everybody feels like they're having a weight loss stall. Everybody feels like they're not losing weight fast enough. everybody, like even the ones that will share progress will share it in such a way that they're frustrated that the progress has stopped. So it's like everybody's frustrated. Everybody's, I won't even say upset, but everybody's frustrated or lost or confused or asking, don't use the stupid word, asking silly questions that you would think that, like, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I want people to ask whatever they feel like they need to know, right? I'm just a little, like, I make a joke out of everything, okay? So don't get offended. But I want people to ask questions. I want people to share what they're doing, because then you have experiences like yesterday where somebody came into the live talking about, and hi Mindy if you're watching, talking, I think it was Mindy, talking about they're puncturing their Eli Lilly vials more than once. No, stop, don't do that. Like, so I want to be able to reach those people and say, hey, whoa, no, don't do that. Like, okay, like, I'm not your doctor. Definitely go talk to your doctor. But as much as I say I don't give advice, I'm gonna give some advice and tell you to stop doing that, okay? So I definitely want to come across those people. But like I said, I can give you an answer while I'm here talking to you so that things aren't getting lost in communication. And I don't know a lot, but I know a little something, right? And I can speak from my personal experiences, and then I can speak from the bit of research that I've done, okay? Like, some of this is simple. Just go to Eli Lilly's website and get the information. You know what I mean? Like, people will go to a support group before they go to Eli Lilly, which is crazy to me. And I think that that's the telehealth culture. Like, the telehealth culture is sign up for telehealth, Mochi. See the physician, let them know your vitals and your BMI and all that, or they'll determine your BMI based on your vitals. Get your prescription, never speak to them again, and then get all of your information from a support group. Am I lying? Am I lying? That is literally compound trizepatide, compound semaglutide culture, telehealth culture. Sign up for telehealth. Meet with the physician one time to get your prescription. Never speak to them again until it's time to titrate up. Never address your concerns with them. Never ask any questions. Never let them know what you're going through. Go to a support group and get your help there. And to be honest, I'm going to just say it. Nobody knows what they're doing. And when I say nobody, I'm casting a very wide umbrella. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Like, I'm casting a very wide umbrella when I say this, but the people in these support groups don't know what they're talking about. I just be in there looking like, do you know a quick Google search will answer that question for you, right? You do know that, like, a quick even YouTube search so you can hear someone actually verbally say what you're looking for will answer that for you, right? You do know a quick message to your doctor or even a telehealth, your provider on the telehealth will answer that for you, right? You do know a quick call to the pharmacy that you got your prescription from will answer that for you, right? Like, why am I in the group and somebody's asking how many units other people are taking? It is 2025. The GLP-1 streets have been piping hot for at least 4 years. For at least 4 years. Like, GLP-1s have been around forever, but the GLP-1 streets have been piping hot for at least 4 years. Why are people, and this is where I have to, like, check myself, and like I said, we're all at different points in our journey, and every time I think that I should not address something because it's overly incredibly obvious and simple, I see people asking questions. Like, people still don't understand the basics of being on a GLP-1. They literally don't know what they're doing. Matter of fact, Jen, didn't we talk about this in the members only live stream? People don't know what they're doing. Like, it just is what it is. And again, this goes back to Ali's video. I think that her, I don't want to keep harping on this, but it's a good example because I understood why she felt the way that she felt. Maybe her solution was a bit misplaced, but I understood why she felt the way she felt. She just couldn't really formulate the argument well because it's not the best solution, but it's something worth talking about. And I don't even think therapy would solve this. Like a therapist cannot help you with this. This is a matter of education. This is a matter of people just doing shit and not wanting to do no research. People just doing shit. Like literally just doing shit. Like literally just doing stuff. And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they're going into these support groups talking to other people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Who in here is in a support group? Whether it's the Mochi support group or any other GLP-1 support group on Facebook, or I don't know any other platform that would have a support group, or the ability to have one. But it's like you go in there and you see what people are posting, and you're just like you just want to grab them, not grab them physically, but like grab them out of the chat, not out of the group, and just like, hey, come talk with me real quick, like let me help you out. But you can't do that on an individual basis for every single person. So like for somebody like me that likes to intervene and likes to help, it's hard. It's hard. Like I said, like today in preparation for this live stream, I never go into the support groups. I only went into them originally because I was trying to figure out what was going on with the telehealths when everything was melting down. But I don't actually go in there for information because don't nobody know what they talking about. I'm not no expert, but when I tell you none of these people know what they're talking about, like, I wish I could share. I wish I could share, like, I wish I could screen share the post in the chat, and not to shame people at all. Not to shame people, but it's literally like, how do I want to put this? It's literally like walking into a room with no lights on and everybody's bumping into each other in the dark. Like yes, like the blind leading the blind, but literally like blind people do a better job. Like seriously, blind people would do a better job than what's going on in these support groups. It's literally like people are signing up for telehealth, getting on the GLP-1 and walking into a dark room with thousands of other people in there, and they're all just bumping into each other, asking questions. Like, I'm not saying don't ask questions. I'm not saying you're dumb for asking questions, but I'm just saying if you asking a question to a person that knows less than you do, then it's like, how are y'all helping you? That's not helpful. And then on top of that, riddle me this. Hi, Starry. I don't know what PP is. You'll have to clear that up for me. Hopefully it's not anything inappropriate because you will get timed out. But riddle me this. What is the point of having a support group if the people that created the support group are never there? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Am I right? What is the point of having a support group if the people that created the support group are never there? I thought people went into support groups to interact with the creator or creators of the support group along with other people. But the creator of the support groups are never there. They're never there. Ever. Maybe they'll drop in every once in a while with a post, giving an update or something. But they're not there to answer questions. They got uneducated people or uninformed. I won't say uneducated, but they have uninformed people giving advice and guidance to other uninformed people. And then people get in there and get to fighting. What in the ratchetry? Like, what in the absolute ghetto mayhem? I mean, it's mayhem. It literally is. It literally is chaos and mayhem in there. Okay, so back to the whole thing about the slow responders, because I can go on a Mochi tangent forever, but it's not just Mochi's support group. It's all of them. All of them. Every last one of them is like this. So, and never mind, I'm not even gonna bring that up. It don't matter. So back to the slow responders. So people are essentially in support groups crying, okay? And it's okay, I can say crying because I cry. Like, I don't mean literal cry, I mean like whine and complain and, you know, oh, this is not going the way I want it to go and da 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 da, right? So people are in these support groups whining, crying, and complaining about their progress slowing, not having little progress, or their progress stopping altogether, right? But here's the thing about a written support group, like a support group where you have to write messages and posts and things like that. They just say, this is not working for me. I don't know what's going wrong, but I'm not losing weight. They don't tell you what their starting weight is. They don't tell you they don't give you any information, any context. They don't tell you what their diet is, right? Because who's about to do all of that in a written post? So you don't know nothing about their diet. You don't know nothing about their habits. You don't know nothing about the medications that they're on. You don't know anything about, all you know is their dose and maybe what compounding pharmacy they got it from, if they even tell you. Because most of these people aren't on brand. That's another thing. If you're in like a telehealth support group, the likelihood that you're on brand is slim to none. Slim to none. So they make an arbitrary post talking about something that's not going right for them, but you have no information about this person, and then people start commenting, giving feedback. But you can tell from the nature of the post, the person really just doesn't know the basics. Like they really just don't know like the basics of like, my compound is going to be different from your compound, especially if we're on 2 different doses, and especially if we get it from 2 different compounding pharmacies. So why are you asking how many units somebody is taking? That's why I mentioned in my Zepbound video, my unboxing, I think it was the unboxing or one of the videos after that, the live streams, I didn't realize that Zepbound, all of their doses is 50 units. But that don't help somebody. And somebody said Mochi was the same way, but I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But that don't help somebody get in their compound from Amble. That don't help somebody on semaglutide. That don't help somebody on Ozempic. So why are y'all even talking about it? Why are units coming up at all in a support group? Why is it coming up? Like why is that not a question that's followed by, just follow the instructions that your pharmacist gave you. In fact, call your pharmacist if you're confused. You know what I mean? Like people are trying to give answers that they don't actually need to give. Anyway, I keep getting distracted by the content of the support group instead of talking about actually being a slow responder. Okay, so let's get into what it means to be a slow responder, right? So losing, let's say roughly, Eli Lilly gives a percentage. So they said less than 5% of your body weight. So when I calculated it for myself, it came out to roughly less than 1 pound per week. If I had started out losing less than 1 pound per week, Eli Lilly would consider me a slow responder. I don't think I lost less than 1 pound per week in the beginning. So I don't necessarily, there were some weeks where I lost less than 1 pound, but I don't necessarily consider myself a slow responder. The reason that I don't is because, one, most of the reason, like the majority, I can guarantee you the majority of the reason why I did not see more success in the beginning or in the months leading up to where I am now, or I should say damn near a year now, is because of my decisions and what I was doing and the changes that I didn't make, or the changes that I was slow about making. It's that simple. And that's something that people don't like to talk about because not everybody, but most people assume, or I don't want to say most, a lot of people assume based on the propaganda or the most popular stories or the most popular examples or what's viral, whatever you see. Most people assume that, one, you take a GLP-1, you lose weight. Now, I'm perfectly fine with taking my fat shots, but I honestly don't like considering Zepbound a weight loss drug. I don't. Because to me, because I'm very literal, right? I'm extremely literal. So if you tell me Zepbound is a weight loss drug, I'm gonna ask, well, how does Zepbound cause weight loss? Right? I'm gonna ask the question, if you tell me Zepbound is a weight loss drug, my follow-up question to that is gonna be, well, how does it cause weight loss? And your answer better be cause and effect. Or we're gonna have a longer conversation about it, a debate about it. Like, or I'm not gonna, like just saying that, oh, you eat less, so therefore you lose weight. That's not Zepbound causing the weight loss though. That's Zepbound controlling your appetite. What you do beyond that is what causes the weight loss. Does Zepbound make you burn body fat? Does Zepbound cause you to suddenly drop a bunch of water weight because of some sort of mechanism in the GLP-1? Does Zepbound, like, how is it causing the weight loss? That would be my question. So because I don't actually think there's a good answer to that, I don't like saying that, but with the caveat that I understand what people mean, right? So I just try not to fight about it. I don't argue about it unless you think you know what you're talking about. Like if you're trying to make a point that people shouldn't be taking GLP-1s, and then you say you don't need a weight loss medication. If you're being a smart ass with me, then yes, I'm going to make a big deal about it and say, well, tell me how it makes you lose weight. Like in that case. But if we're just talking about like just looking at a short way to say it, or if you're describing it to someone that's not familiar, then fine. I'm fine with it being called a weight loss medication. Like fine, whatever. But I honestly don't think it is one. To me, a weight loss medication would be a medication that regardless of what you do, you will lose weight because it's cause and effect, right? Regardless of what you do, you're going to lose weight. Just like with insulin, right? Insulin is a blood sugar lowering medication because no matter what you do, you take that insulin, your blood sugar is going down, cause and effect. No matter what you do. It does not matter what you do. It does not matter what you do. You take your insulin, your blood sugar is going down, cause, effect. Taking a GLP-1 is a bit more complicated than that. Taking a GLP-1 does not automatically guarantee weight loss. Okay, y'all following me? All right, so those are my feelings on that. So I said all of that to say that people go into, I broke my straw, so now I can't drink my coffee. Let me go throw it away. People go into taking a GLP-1 thinking that it is a weight loss medication, which means cause and effect, automatically, if you take it, you will lose weight. But that's not how that works. So they never consider that there are additional steps that you have to take in order for the medication to work. And then when you try to tell them that, they get pissed off. It's in the support groups. People get real mad about the amount of money that they're spending on these medications when it doesn't work. Well, quote unquote doesn't work, right? I'm calling cap on the quote unquote not working. But people get real upset when, I know because I did it. I wasted $2,400 on some compound that didn't work, so I get it. But people get upset. They're like, we're spending all this money and I've only lost 2 pounds this month. And it's like, we don't know nothing else about you or your lifestyle for you to be talking about I only lost 2 pounds. Why is it not working? What? First of all, what dose are you on? Like, some people don't even start out with that. Like, what dose are you on? Like, let's just assume I already know you're on compound. Because some people, just because you're on Zepbound doesn't mean, like, brand, doesn't mean you're automatically going to lose weight either. But it's like, okay, what dose are you on, first of all? Okay, you're on the 2.5? Shut the hell up. I'm so sorry. Shut up. If you are on the 2.5 talking about you ain't losing weight, I need you to hush, quiet your mouth, okay? I need you to shh. Because, first of all, not everybody is supposed to respond to the 2.5. It is literally just a starter dose. Like, that's not something that people just say. That is what it is for Eli Lilly. That is how the drug is created. To kind of onboard you or on-ramp you. Hi. think she was looking at me like, lady, what you want? So it is the medication is designed to have the lowest dose to kind of introduce you to the higher doses, okay? Again, I'm being facetious. I'm not really being mean when I say hush your mouth, okay? Don't be sensitive. But yeah, if you're on a 2.5 and you haven't lost weight yet, I need you to just calm down, relax. Everybody chill the fuck out, okay? You're not even necessarily supposed to or expected to lose weight on the 2.5. Now, I don't think it's fair to consider the people that do respond on the 2.5 to be hyper responders. I've heard people say that. No. You just either respond to it or you don't. That's it. Like, if you do respond to it, great. But that's not necessarily an expectation, okay? Now, like for me, I responded to the 2.5, but I was on compound. I responded to the 2.5, but very, like, within the first month, I needed to go up. Like by week 3 or 4, it was clear that I needed to go up to the 5 milligram. Like, it was already becoming less effective at the 2.5. So I didn't even try to stay on the 2.5 for months at a time. It was perfectly fine for me to go up to the 5 milligram in the first 4 weeks. Perfectly fine. And then I stayed at 5 milligram for a couple of months. So starting out, that's a problem with people's misinterpretation of what Zepbound is supposed to do and what time frame it's supposed to do it, and then them comparing themselves to other people, okay? So there's that with the 2.5 milligram. If you're just starting out, calm down. Relax, okay? Then you have those that continue on 5 milligram, 7.5, 10 milligram. You know what? Sidebar real quick. I don't think people stay on the 7.5 milligram very long. I think I am the only person that I know that has been on the 7.5 for as long as I've been on it. People either stay at the 5 for a good, people stay at the 2.5, the 5, and the 10 for a while. But the 7.5, people don't really like that dose too much, and they tend to quickly get past it. Like, they'll stay at the 5 for a while, and then when it's time to titrate up, they'll go to the 7.5, but they won't stay at the 7.5 for very long. They'll go up to the 10 and then stay at the 10. Like, the 10 is a beast. They'll stay at the 10 for a good amount of time. I haven't reached that point yet of going up to the 10. So I don't know. I've been on the 7.5 for almost 8 months now, but 6 of that was on compound. I'm almost like really just like, I'm at a point of just wanting to wipe that 6 month time frame from the map. Like, let's just erase all that and pretend that didn't happen. I'm at a point where I'm even tired of mentioning it, but I feel the need to mention it because I always have new people that are watching. So I feel the need to explain why I'm not further along. But anyway, so you get past the 2.5, and then let's say people start to see that they're losing weight, but they're not losing weight as fast. This is what I get for walking around in Crocs. I keep tripping. They're not losing weight as fast as they would like. Before I get into that, I spent 2 months on 2.5. I spent 3 months on 7.5. I should have moved to the 10 a month earlier. Honestly, I probably should move to the 10 right now, but I'm being stubborn about it because I don't want my next 50 pounds of weight loss to come from just sheer appetite suppression. Like, I just can't get any food in, so the weight falls off. No, I need to preserve as much muscle as I have. So 1, I need to eat. 2, I need to be working out. But 3, having some sort of, if I have too much of a crutch, I won't work on the other things I need to work on, right? Like, if I go up to the 10 now, I will kind of stop working on the other things that, like, I will be less incentivized to work on building some of those better habits, okay? I have another 10 minutes, 12 minutes before I'm at a full hour. So we're at about 45 minutes. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I do not have an increase in my pain at all. Actually, you know what? Let me stop and stand still for about 10, 15 minutes and see how that makes me feel. So let me find a good spot that I want to stand in. So, okay. So people titrate up, but they get to about wherever they get to, 5, 7.5. And well, let me back up a bit. So the people that respond fairly well, they may lose weight really quickly in the beginning because they don't know how to deal with the appetite suppression. So they respond to everyone does this. We all do it. We respond to the appetite suppression by just not eating. And if you don't do your research, you don't know that that's problematic. If you don't spend enough time researching, you don't know that just simply responding by not eating is actually problematic, and you're doing yourself more of a disservice than you are helping, right? And a lot of that weight loss, like, I ain't saying no names, but I've seen some content creators by the end of their journey look incredibly frail. And I'm like, yeah, you got the weight off, but you look like you're wasting away. Like, okay, like, yeah, great. You got the weight off, like you got 100 pounds off or 120 or 80 or whatever, but you have no muscle. You have no muscle, you have no butt, you have no nothing. You're just there, okay? And if that makes you happy, great. But I'm not trying to be on that type of timing. So like, I don't need to lose 20 pounds in a month and 5 of that is muscle. What? Like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. So, actually, I wonder if I can, I'm actually tired of holding my tripod. Let's see if I can, see if I can do this. Hold on. Nope, that's going to be too low. I need to find a good place to set up my thingy thing. Okay, I'm gonna just keep holding it for now. Oh, you know what? I know what I can do. Maybe they won't get mad at me for this. Let's see. Let's see. Panera, don't get mad at me. All right. So people get all in their bag about hold on. I'm trying to wrap my spaghetti legs around this pole in effort to potentially keep my phone up, but it's not gonna work. Okay, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna, it's kind of gonna work, maybe a little bit. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. Hold on. All right, let me just let it go. Okay, so, so people get all in their bag about losing weight really quickly at first. And when I say quickly, I mean more than 8 pounds in a month, right? 8 pounds is where, for healthy weight loss, we should be topping out. Unless, of course, you're like morbidly obese, you're gonna lose a lot more weight quicker in the beginning. But if you have like 80, 100 pounds or more to lose, you may lose weight fairly quickly in the beginning because you have a higher starting point. But then when people stop achieving more than 10 pounds per month, I mean, like I said, some people start out around 10 pounds and think that that's too slow, which is insane to me. But when people get like 10, 15, some people even 20 pounds off in a month, and then they don't see that anymore, or they never achieve that and they see other people achieving it, they think that they're doing something wrong. And I'm just like, who told you losing 15 pounds in a month was normal? I'm not saying it's not even doable. It's definitely doable. I think the most weight I've ever lost, like quickly, was like 10 pounds in a week. But a lot of that had to be water. Like I had been eating I'll never forget it. I had a personal trainer. My weight wasn't budging and I was eating protein bars. I cut out them protein bars. The scale dropped 10 pounds in 1 week. It dropped, and I know it wasn't 10 pounds of fat. Like, of course, a lot of that was water weight. But I dropped 10 pounds. I came back to that gym. My trainer was like, he looked at me. He's like, what did you do? I cut out the protein bars. That's what I did. Michelle says I am on 3 months on 10 milligram. I want to start 12.5 in September. Okay. You should always eat protein. It's very important. I always eat just healthy meals. But I also started working on my health before Zepbound. I'm on it for OSA and appreciate the weight loss, but I did not start it because of the weight loss. Okay. Hi, Linda. Linda says, have you really ever been far, even as decided to use, even go want to do look more like, what? So sorry, Linda. I do not understand what you were trying to say. Maybe you could try again for me. Michelle says, I've always lost about 10 pounds a month my whole life. It's just me when I am focused on my health. That is just my body. We should not compare. Yeah, like on average, healthy weight loss is on the higher end. So anywhere from a half a pound to 2 pounds per week. So on the higher end, that's about 8 to 9 pounds. On the lower end, about 2 to 3 pounds in a month. But like I said, when you're first starting out and you're getting rid of a lot of, inflammation and fluid and things like that, even, going to the bathroom, some people are backed up, you know what I mean? So it's not unusual to see a massive drop in the beginning, but then people start literally crying when the massive drop stops. So that tells me these people aren't aware of what healthy weight loss is, and maybe potentially they were never in it for a healthy pace of weight loss, right? Again, this is why Ali feels the way that she does, because she sees these people, and I don't agree with her, but she sees these people saying these things, and her solution to that is, clearly you need some guidance, and clearly you don't realize that there's more to this than just taking the medication. You have to actually do work, like you got to do actual work. So maybe you should see a therapist for that. But I don't think people need therapy for that. I think people just need to be more educated. Like, people need to know more. People need to know more. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Sydney. It's not your fault. I'm all over the place. I had to go to physical therapy this morning. That's why I'm up this early and on live. And I'm also testing out how I feel after my steroid treatment has completed. So I just went for a walk for about 45 minutes. I'm coming up on an hour now, and I feel pretty damn good. I am very confident that when I go to Europe, I'm going to be okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm telling y'all, like, by this point, I would be bent over in pain a week ago. So the fact that I'm still standing here is a wonderful sign. Like, there's still some discomfort. Again, I started out at about a 405. I would say maybe I'm at a 5.5, maybe 5, but that's completely manageable. I could live with that in the short term. Like, ideally, I want to get my pain below like a 3. I want to get my pain and my discomfort below a 3. But there's no reason. I have flat feet, so I always deal with feet pain after a certain amount of walking. There's no reason why my hips should be hurting before my feet. So when I get to the point where I can walk long enough where my feet start to hurt, because that's just normal for me, then I'll know I'm in that's sad to say, but I'll know I'm in a good place. Like, if I can walk long enough, if I can stand or walk for about half a day, I'll know I'm in a good place. So let's say I start my day at about 11. If I'm on vacation, if I start my day at about 11, or let's say I start my day at about, let's say 2 o'clock. Let's just say I'm going out in the afternoon. I should be able to stand up and be out and about between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m., so about 8 hours. Yeah, I should be able to do that without feeling like my hips hurt so bad that I need to sit down. And I know this because I'm from New York. I come from a lifestyle of walking everywhere. Being able to stand up and be outside with my friends from early afternoon or mid-afternoon to late in the night. Like, so yeah, not getting to the point where I couldn't stand for an hour, something was definitely wrong. In fact, they even asked me that when I went to physical therapy today and I was filling out the form about my pain levels. They asked about standing for an hour, walking for 20 minutes. No, they asked for walking for 20 minutes. No, standing for 20 minutes, standing for an hour, and walking a mile. All things that were horrible. So I was glad that they asked about that. Okay. Hi, Sushi Fitness. Are you going to visit the Anne Frank house when you go to Europe? Probably not. I got enough of Anne Frank in middle and high school. No smoke for Anne Frank. No smoke for any of that. But no, I'm not doing that. I got enough of that. Like, I went to an Anne Frank museum when I was in high school. Yeah. I went to an Anne Frank museum when I was in high school. We often had like, not often, but a couple of times we had like some survivors come and speak with us. So honestly, I just got enough of the history throughout high school. I'm good on that, not interested. But thank you for joining us this morning, Sushi Fitness. Okay, so let's get back on topic real quick. And everybody say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Good morning, everybody. So let me ask y'all something. Do y'all like this time better? Because I started about an hour and a half ago. So that would be around 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Is that too early? Let me know what y'all think. So people are essentially melting down because they can't lose more than 2 pounds per week, when the goal should not be more than 2 pounds per week unless you know that your goal is unrealistic, right? So, for example, I lost 11 pounds last month. Actually, I had a goal of 10, but that's because I'm starting from I was starting from 200 pounds. That's me being, oh, I totally forgot that I like have to charge my phone. Like, that's a thing. I can't just be on live forever. So let's head back to my car. So I, what was I saying? I completely forgot. I completely lost my train of thought from my battery coming up. So, okay. So in June, I had a goal of 10 pounds. I lost 11 pounds. Pretty aggressive, actually very aggressive, but I was aware of that. Like, right? Like, I was aware of that, and I actually didn't even have to work too hard to achieve that because my body was ready to let that 11 pounds go. So what I mean by that is all I had to do was tweak my diet. I didn't exercise. All I had to do was tweak my diet to remove the things that I already knew were causing me problems, and the weight just came off on its own, which means I had very little control over how much weight I actually lost. That's just the way that it worked out, right? So when we actually create a weight loss goal, we don't really have control over how much weight we lose, right? All we can do is set our body up for the right parameters, do all of the things that we need to do that promote weight loss, and then let our body do the rest. So just because we have a goal of 10 pounds don't mean we can control whether or not we lose 7, 10, or 15. That doesn't, or 1, or none. We don't really have control over that completely, right? But that doesn't mean don't set goals. I like goals. I really do. I like goals. I like objectives. I like checklists. Even though I'm terrible at time management, I do like organization. Like, right? Like, I'm not typically a very disorganized person. I get fulfillment from organization. But I often don't put the effort into being organized or, whatever, right? I like planning, but I often don't put enough effort into it because I'm lazy. But I like the results of planning and being organized and things like that. So I like having goals. I like to meet objectives. I like that. I'm a checklist kind of girly, right? So, so I lost 11 pounds. And then this month, I knew going into this challenge that it was borderline completely unrealistic for me to expect to lose another 10 pounds. But the reason that I gave myself that goal is, again, because I'm going through the issues with my hips. I'm trying to get off as much weight as possible, but that does not mean my body is going to allow me to lose another 10 pounds. But what I can do is control the parameters that I set up for myself in order to be in a more weight loss friendly environment. So that means what I put in my mouth, that means my activity level. And the first week, I did not do good with either of those. I didn't do good with either of those. So I'm working on it. I'm clearing it up this week. In fact, I've been walking for the past hour, not at a very fast pace at all either. I'm more of a stroller. Like that was loud and rude. I stroll. I don't really like walk like I gotta be some, like, y'all see the difference in this? Like, I don't walk like I have somewhere to be, right? Like, you see the difference in my pace? No. We're not doing that. I stroll. I stroll, I strut, right? I like a very, very slow pace. And I'm not just talking about for exercise. I'm talking about in general. This is how I walk. Like I walk very, very slow. I don't ever walk like I got somewhere to be because I ain't got nowhere to be. And if I do got somewhere to be, I'm driving, okay? So, said that to say, a goal of more than 8 pounds in a month is aggressive. It is. It's not unrealistic depending on your weight. Like depending on your weight, it can be potentially unrealistic. Like depending on where you're starting from. So my goal weight is 140 pounds. If I'm at 150, it's kind of unrealistic for me to expect my body to lose 10 pounds in a month, right? Because I don't have much weight to let go of at that point. So my body is gonna do what it can to hold on to as much as possible. But because I'm still 50, technically 70 pounds overweight, losing 10 pounds in a month for me is not completely out there. Like it's not completely in Delulu land. Now, if I wanted to lose 10 pounds every month for the next 6 months, that's pretty unrealistic, okay? So I think that the people that are starting GLP-1s or are already on them don't understand this because all they know are the super duper massive success stories. And I don't understand why people want to look like these celebrities anyway. Like these people have no muscle. Like, have y'all seen, calm down. But have y'all seen Megan Thee Stallion lately? I think Megan on the Ozempic, and I'm just waiting for her to say it. I think Meg is on the Ozempic. Meg was hefty when she first came out. You know what I mean? She was a thickum. She was thick. Meg was very, very thick. I saw a picture. There's a picture of her going viral right now. Her waist is this thin. She looks great, but her waist is this small. It's this goddamn small. And I'm just like, she's on the jab. She's on the jab, allegedly. This is my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Don't sue me, Meg, for lying on you. But I was just like, like she has a lot, like she has some significant weight loss just kind of out of nowhere. She is a gym girl. Like she's a gym babe. But I'm just like her waist is like this small. But she looks great. Whatever. I ain't hating. I am not hating the player or the game, okay? Because I'm playing the game. So I'm a player too. But with that being said, I feel like people are looking at, again, we're back to comparison. People are comparing themselves not only to, oh, I thought he was yelling at me. I'll say, don't yell at me. Oh God, hold on. I can't get my bag off. Hold on. Okay. Woo. So people are comparing themselves to other people instead of realizing what's realistic for their body. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these people are really hard to get through to. Because like I said, they get upset when you tell them that their goals are unrealistic. Or if you find a nicer way to say it, whatever. But when you tell them they can't lose, not can't, but like they should not expect to lose 20 pounds in a month because somebody else lost 20 pounds a month, please like the stream. Please hit the like. It takes a quick second. Hit the like and subscribe. And if you'd like to become a member, there's a link pinned where you can become a Venetian. Okay? But, oh yeah, Meg's on the jab. Allegedly. She's on the jab, bro. She's on the jab. Like, y'all, I'm actually kind of sweaty. Okay, so I walked for an hour after I got bullied by JJ, and I don't even think JJ stayed the whole time. And I feel great. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I feel so much better after that steroid. Hold on. Take you out of the, yeah, let's put you there. Okay, I'm hot. I'm not hungry though, but I do need to eat. Should I go get something to eat? All right, we'll talk about that in a second. This is problematic because I can't charge my phone with my headphones in. So let me see if I have a second pair of headphones. So slow responders, right? I feel like I've been trying to address this for like the past hour and I'm just not getting it the way that I want to. So I'll probably have to take notes and do this as like a pre-recorded video. But I think that people that are considering themselves slow responders, again, self-diagnosed slow responders. Hold on. Let's see if this works. I think it worked. Can y'all hear me okay? Let me know. If it starts to get staticky, let me know. This actually might connect to the car. I'm hoping it does not. That's going to be super ghetto. Can y'all hear me? I think that the people that are self-diagnosing as slow responders are being dramatic because they don't understand that if you to be quite honest with you, if you lose 1 pound per week on Zepbound, I get why that would be frustrating. Hi, laughing while crying. Manic. No, it should be manic laughter. That's what it should be. It should be. I do that. Okay. I laugh to keep from crying, but the laughter is manic. It's like, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked. Okay, I do that. But anyway, okay. So the unrealistic expectations lead to a lot of frustration. Oh, okay. So now that I'm sitting and I have my phone, y'all want me to read some of these comments out of the Mochi group? They didn't say I couldn't read them. They said don't screenshot them. Okay, I read the rules. Okay, so like let me see if I can find y'all an example so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me see. Let me see if I can find an example so you can see what I'm talking about. Cause people, I ain't gonna say the profile names. I ain't gonna say it. Okay. All right. So let me give you an example, right? I didn't pre-read this, right? Because I looked earlier. So I'm not pre-reading this. So because I didn't plan this, the ones that I read may not be as bad as I described, but we'll just see, right? So one person says they posted their pictures and they said, so frustrated, from December to now, I've gone from 372 to 323. So what is that, about 50 pounds? This was posted today or 11 hours ago. So that would have been around midnight, my time. Right? Or am I saying that wrong? It was 11 hours ago. Let's say today or last night, whatever. So they've lost 50 pounds since December. What month are we in? July? That's 7 months. So do we want to include December or not? Because if we include December, that'll be 8 months. But if we do from January to July, that's 7 months. So let's say 8 months. That's about 6 pounds per month. Right? This person is frustrated about 6 pounds per month. Okay. So let's continue. So frustrated. From December to now, I've gone from 372 to 323, but it won't budge any lower. I have 143 more pounds to lose. I'm unable to exercise due to a broken ankle, causing me to be immobile, but I barely eat. I drink water all day. And do y'all know why I just dropped my phone? Do I need to read it again? Y'all, anybody that's been watching long enough knows I get stressed out by this particular sentiment. I'm gonna read it again. So frustrated. From December to now, I've gone from 373 to 323. That's about 50 pounds, but it won't budge any lower. I have 143 more pounds to lose. I'm unable to exercise due to a broken ankle, causing me to be immobile, but I barely eat. I drink water all day, and in my pictures, I don't even see a difference. You see what I'm talking about? Let's see what the comments have to say. Let's see if they're giving some good input. Let's see. So very second comment. The first one is just too long for me to read. And they're basically just saying appreciate the 49 pounds down. So the very second comment that I see says, whenever I stall, it's actually because I didn't eat enough. Get more protein in when you're in a stall. You can do it. That's actually good input, right? So another comment says, when your body plateaus, it's often because it has adjusted to your diet and believes it needs to hold on to fat. Eat slightly more. So some people are saying eat more. Some people are saying eat more. Okay. Talk to a dietitian. Use a TDEE calculator. Talk to a dietitian. Be careful with the broken ankle. Now, I don't think that a lack of, listen, okay, hear me out with the exercise thing, right? A lack of exercise will not stop you from losing weight, but it could help you lose more or faster. So when, happy birthday, Gerwinder. It's my birthday, I'll get high if I want to. Is that how that song goes? Did they say get high? I don't know. But anyway, so the broken ankle, you can lose weight with a broken ankle, right? Being immobile is not like what you put in your mouth is going to matter more than how you move your body. Hi, Jimmy. Right? So the broken ankle, I'm not too concerned about. But the lack of eating is what I'm concerned about. And this is what I mean about the mindset of people that get on a GLP-1. They're like, I barely eat, so what's the problem? If not eating was the solution, we wouldn't have an obesity problem. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many people have tried eating less already without a GLP-1? It doesn't work, at least not in the long term. Like, she says she lost about 50 pounds. Okay, so you under eating worked at first, and now this person has probably crashed their metabolism. Like, I don't know how long it takes to ruin your metabolism. I'm gonna assume years, but they've at least set themselves up for failure by under eating for potentially 6 months, 8 months. So imagine nearly a year of under eating, what that would do to your body. And you expect your body to let go of what it has when you're not feeding it. This is a education problem. Like, this is a lack of information problem. Like, this person just doesn't know, right? This is a complete and utter misunderstanding. So people are definitely saying that she should eat more, and but the other half is like really focusing on the ankle part. Like they're focusing on the exercise. Okay, so that's that comment. Worried about 6 pounds a month. I think that that's great weight loss. Like, if you could get average 6 pounds a month consistently, that's wonderful. That's wonderful progress. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm skimming because some of these are clearly like not questions. They're just goofy stuff like, why are the needles so long? Or can I get a 2-month supply from Mochi? Like, those I'm skipping. So this person says, wondering if I should continue. I started on 8 units of semaglutide. If y'all don't shut the hell up about these goddamn units. We don't know what that means. What is your dose? I don't know what 8 units is. I don't know what that is. Okay, I started on 8 units of semaglutide for 1 month, then switched to 50 units of Zepbound for 1 month. I've lost barely anything, and I never experienced any symptoms, good or bad. I told myself I would probably give it 3 to 6 months, but it's expensive. Am I eating? Maybe they meant I am eating. I am eating, exercising, and drinking as much as I should. No. No. Hold on. Let me go back. Am I they didn't put a question mark, so that's why I was messed up. I was confused. Okay. Am I eating, exercising, and drinking as much as I should? No, I'm not. But I've seen and heard people lose at least 25 pounds with little to no effort. Just want to know y'all thoughts. This is in the Mochi group. Where are the Mochi representatives or moderators of the group to help these people? If you're going to have a support group and you're a telehealth company, you should have physicians in that support group, or nutritionists or health coaches in that support group. Y'all see what I'm talking about? From the top, let me read the comment again. Let me read. And this is actually a woman based on the profile picture. It could be, anybody, but it's a female. Wondering if I should continue. I started on 8 units of semaglutide for 1 month, then switched to 50 units of Zepbound for 1 month. That tells me literally nothing. I don't know what that means. I've lost barely anything and I never experienced any symptoms, good or bad. I told myself I would probably give it 3 to 6 months, but it's expensive. Am I eating, exercising, and drinking as much as I should? No, I'm not. But I've seen and heard people lose at least 25 pounds with little to no effort. Just wanted to know y'all's thoughts. There's so much wrong with this. And then I'm going to get into what people had to say. There's so much wrong with this. One, this person says units. We don't know what units means. We don't know what your dose is. Then they say semaglutide for 1 month and then switch to Zepbound. Does that mean they were on compound and then switch compound semaglutide and then switch to brand Zepbound? Or were they on compound both times? Like, I don't know if they're just interchanging the names because it doesn't make a difference. But I want to know if they were on compound both times or if they went from compound Ozempic to brand Zepbound is what I would like to know. I've lost barely anything, good or bad. How close are you to your ideal body weight? Which doses did you try? If you only started out, because they said I started at 8 units of semaglutide for 1 month. Let's just assume that that means they were at the starter dose of semaglutide. You were on semaglutide for 1 month and then switched to Zepbound, but you weren't having any symptoms. Why did you switch? Why didn't you titrate up? Why did you switch medications completely instead of titrating up beyond the starter dose? Right? And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make an assumption because they said 50 units of Zepbound. I'm gonna assume they were on brand because, like I said, with brand, it's 50 units no matter what your dose is. And if they were starting on Zepbound, I'm assuming they started at the lowest dose of 2.5. So whether you're on the 2.5, 5, 10, 15, it's going to be 50 units. But when it comes to 8 units of semaglutide, I have no idea what that means. I only know the Zepbound one because I'm on it. So you started out with your starter dose of semaglutide. You didn't wait for it to work. You didn't titrate up beyond the starter dose, but you didn't lose 25 pounds in a month. So you switched medications. You medication hopped. Who the hell is your doctor? Telehealth. This is telehealth culture. This is telehealth culture. Mikey, ask your mama, because I got it from her. Yeah? Okay, so back to what I was saying. So now, I've barely lost anything. Okay, we don't know. You cannot say I've barely lost anything and then say, am I doing the things that I should be doing alongside this medication? No, I'm not. But other people have done less. Other people didn't do anything either. Okay? All right? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. So this comment is problematic, right? But let's see what people had to say. Let's see if she got some good input. Okay? So the people who lose the people who lose a lot of the people, sorry, typos, misspellings. The people who lose I'm having a hard time with this comment. Okay. The people who lose a lot fast when they start are usually those who have a lot to lose. I'm sorry. There was some misspellings in there that threw me off. I started at 331 pounds and lost 30 pounds my first month on Sema. I've been on it since February 2024 and weight loss has slowed tremendously, but I am down 100 pounds to date. So I'm thinking the last 50 pounds takes the longest. Units aren't a dose. Please share your milligram doses. We might be able to compare our journeys with yours once we know that information. Now, one person just simply says, make the effort. I mean, period. You just said you wasn't even trying. One person says, make the effort. I think that comment deserves 1,000 likes. Okay. Most people are working the program to lose. I eat 1,200 a day and I'm losing 2 pounds a week. 1,200 is very low for an adult, so whatever. The big numbers are from the drop in water weight when they first start. Okay. The people that lose putting little to no effort are people that are usually too sick to eat hardly anything. You have to eat in a calorie deficit to lose. I have tracked my calories every day since day one. I lost 84 pounds in just over a year. and have been maintaining the last 10 months. Calories matter more than anything else. I don't necessarily agree with that. There's context, like there should be more context to that, but how much context can you put into a post? It doesn't matter if you're just eating protein all day long. If it's more calories than you burn, you want, oh God. Like, okay, fine. This is not the worst comment in the world. I just disagree. And a lot of people have this mindset that they shouldn't have to track calories or even think about it. I would agree, but you do. But so he's saying you have to track to make sure you're under eating. I'm saying you have to track to make sure you eat enough. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So hopefully the medicine gives you good appetite suppression, we strongly diminishes the food. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's the typos. Okay, so I'm done. Essentially, he's saying, hopefully the medication will control your appetite and control the food noise, and the rest is up to you. Is like, essentially, which is my point. So again, another problematic comment that is just like, girl, what? I just canceled. Now, this is a Mochi person or a Mochi prior member. I just canceled my membership after over a year. I've gained 2 pounds and never lost an ounce. And one person says, why do people feel the need to let others know they canceled? If you don't like it, just move on. I mean, listen. This is what I'm saying. Like, I just canceled my membership after over a year. I've gained 2 pounds and never lost an ounce. Well, I mean, like, this person is implying that they're a non-responder, but it's like, we don't know nothing about what doses you were on. We don't know which GLP-1 you were on. And we don't know if you were on brand or compound, but because you were with Mochi, I'm assuming you were on compound. Yeah. I cannot eat. I cannot get protein in because I literally cannot stomach eating food. I can't get more than a few bites down. Any suggestions? What do y'all think the answer is to that? Before I see the answer in here. Somebody said it. Maybe these groups aren't a lost cause. You know what it is? It's the people. I'm noticing there's a disconnect between the people asking the questions and the people giving the answers, right? Because I'm realizing that when you go through the answers, some people got a little bit of sense, but for the most part, don't nobody know what they're talking about. I see the answer in here, so let me read her comment again, and let me know what y'all would do, or would you suggest to somebody that has this problem. I cannot eat. I can't get protein in because I literally cannot stomach eating food. I can't get more than a few bites down. Any suggestions? This is not medical advice. This is just for commentary purposes. But what do y'all think the answer is to that? Hi, Missy. Missy says food sensitivities still matter. What do you mean by that? Like allergies? Tell me more. But what would y'all say to a person that literally says, I cannot get food down? I can't get it down. Now, one person says, ask your doctor for nausea meds. I don't think that's the answer. If you can't get food down, you don't actually need to be adding medication on top of that. Like, I don't believe in taking pills on an empty stomach. Like, no, don't do that. But unless you know your medication says on an empty stomach. But another person says bone broth. Chanel says protein shakes. Okay. Someone else is recommending protein shakes, crackers, drinkable protein. Someone says this will pass, your body is just adjusting. We don't know what dose they're on. We don't know how long they've been on it. We don't know anything. We just know that they can't get any food down. Someone suggested trying marijuana. Increase your appetite with marijuana. Well, here's the answer that I would give. I would say lower your dose. That's what I would say. I'd say lower your dose. Someone said it in here. That's what I would say. This is why I don't want to go up to the 10 milligram yet. because I don't want to have this problem. I don't want to have this problem where I literally can't get food down. No. Now, I don't want to have food noise, so if for some reason the 7 milligram isn't suppressing my food noise, I'll go up to the 10 milligram. But I don't want to have this problem. I don't want to have it. Lower your dose. But we don't know what dose she's on. So if she's on the 2.5 and on compound, the best bet would be to microdose beyond that. So preferably with a doctor, right? Maybe she can get her compound at an already prescribed lower dose, but I don't know if the telehealth companies do that. So if not, the next best option for her, this is not medical advice, but the next best option would be to go below the lowest dose. But if she's on any other dose, titrate down. That's what I was thinking as well. I've lost 20 pounds on 2.5 of Zepbound, but I feel like I can still stomach food but not overeat. That's where I'm at on the 7.5. I can still stomach food and not overeat. That's exactly where I am. And today's day 8 since my last injection, so I'm still feeling really good. And I actually had a pretty high sugar day yesterday because I had a smoothie. You know what, Jen? I'm so glad you made it home. I'm so glad you made it home. That flooding has been terrible. You're probably tired, so whenever you know, if you're gonna get some sleep, I wish you a good day. I won't say good night because it ain't night, but good morning. I hope you get some sleep. Okay, let's find one more. Let's find one more. Okay. Here's the thing. Here, this one is perfect for our topic. It's perfect. It's perfection. It's perfection. I didn't look at these in advance. Like, I did look at some, but there's been new common sense or whatever. Or I was just skimming through. Fellow slow or non-responders, what did you do to break a stall? A little background. I have been on semaglutide since... Oh, shit, this comment is long. Oh, God. All right, everybody just brace. Everybody get comfortable. This comment is long. Okay. A little background. I've been on semaglutide since this time last summer, so about a year, and at the highest dosage available for almost 6 months. In the year, I've lost about 30 pounds with about 30 more to go. I've come to accept that I'm a slower loser. Unfortunately, now I'm a non-loser. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can do this. I can get through this. I have been at the same weight now for I'm sorry. Y'all want me to read it, right? Okay. Unfortunately, now I am a non-loser. I have been at the same weight now for 2 to 3 months. I met with my Mochi doctor to address this, who recommended I switch to Zepbound. I'm now on 11 milligram and still no movement on the scale. 11 milligram? What? Hmm. 11 milligram? As for the lifestyle change, I eat well the majority of the time and consciously aim for higher protein and higher fiber meals and snacks. I drink water often, but could possibly be better here. I've been getting more regular sleep in the last few months than before. I'm on top of my lab work and other medications for my health issues. The biggest change, I exercise almost daily. It became a habit before I started the medication, but in the last 6 months, I've added more intense workouts. I switched off and on from hot yoga sculpt to Lagri, I don't know what that is, to HIIT, high intensity interval training, to strength training, walking, yoga, and more. You'd think with all this physical movement, the scale would move too. Oh my Lord Jesus, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I need your help. What else can I do that I haven't tried? What worked for you? Am I missing something here? I need to reconsider how I'm doing my content. Like, how do I reach people like this? Obviously, I need to get back to doing some shorter videos. So once I'm done with my move and settled, then you guys can look forward to some shorter videos, some more pre-recorded content and things like that, where I just get straight to the point. But how do I reach people like this? How do I reach people like this? So she made it to her highest dose of semaglutide, and got stuck for about 6 months. And honestly, the amount of weight that you can lose on semaglutide, right, you're right, reindeer. The amount of weight that you can lose on semaglutide is already less than what you can lose on tirzepatide. So it would make sense that switching, it would make sense that at some point she maxed out on semaglutide, right? But she claims to have switched to tirzepatide, and I don't know what this 11 milligram is. I have no idea what that is. But she claims to have switched to tirzepatide and still no movement on the scale. She said, and maybe this is me, maybe this is my own bias, but she said, I am now a non-loser, no movement for 2 to 3 months. As a person that didn't get any progress for 6 months, in my mind, I'm like, you do know that's not the end of the world, right? But I get it. We're paying for these medications. You're doing this to get, like, you want to get your progress. So ideally, there's no reason why anybody should be stalling for 2 to 3 months, right? So I get that. But at first, I was like, 2 to 3 months? I mean, like, if you don't lose weight for 3 months, is that a stall? Probably. You lucky I can't say your mama. Oh, I've been saying people. I'm sorry, y'all. Sidebar. I'm addressing a comment that I got separately. A message that I got separately. I know you're watching. You lucky I can't say your mama, because that would be my aunt. But I've been saying your mama a lot this stream. Leave me alone, okay? All right. So anyway, stop distracting me. So anyway, yeah, so if you haven't lost any weight for 3 months, would that technically be a stall? Probably. But we would have to get into, like, why you would go 3 months without losing weight, right? Like, what needs to be adjusted? For example, there came a point where I was overeating because I did my TDEE calculation at about 220 pounds. When I got down to about 210, 205, I forgot to redo the calculations so that I could eat less. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that as your body loses weight, you require less calories for your basal metabolic rate? Like, you require less calories for maintenance. Did y'all know that? So ideally, as you lose weight, you should be adjusting your calories, because otherwise you'll end up overeating. So, like, if my BMR is 2,000 or 2,200 calories when I'm 240 pounds, by the time I get to 200 pounds, I should not still be eating 2,200 calories. Does that make sense? Like, now I'm burning at about 1,800 or something like that. Does that make sense? So for me, every 15 pounds or so, I redo my TDEE calculation so I can see what my maintenance is. And for me, I always eat a little bit less than maintenance. Hi, Team Jesus. I always eat a little bit less than maintenance. A little bit. Not 500 calories less, but I'll drop my calories by about 100 to 200 calories or whatever. That's just me. But ideally, you should be adjusting your caloric intake as you lose weight, because you will require sorry, I just got distracted by this comment. Yes, 11 milligram is Mochi dosing equivalent to 10 milligram. Oh, is that what they're doing? So when I was on Mochi, they had dose matching for Zepbound, but now they've changed the dosing so that the 10 milligram Zepbound is like 11 milligram of compound tirzepatide with Mochi. They weren't doing that when I was on Mochi, so I didn't understand. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So with that being said, so this person is on a 10 milligram. So they would have at least, I don't think this person's timeline adds up. I'm a little confused by the timeline. Let's read this again now with the context of the 11 milligram being equivalent to the 10. Let's read this again. I've been on semaglutide since this time last summer, right? So their weight loss journey is at least a year long, right? And at the highest dosage available for over 6 months. So is the semaglutide titration every 4 weeks? And how many doses of semaglutide are there? Are there 4? Are there 6? Because I don't think these numbers add up. Like, I don't think this time frame adds up. I don't think this time frame adds up, because they were at the highest dose of semaglutide for 6 months. They've been at the same weight for 2 to 3 months. But how, what I'm trying to figure out is, in a year span, they've gotten to the highest dose of semaglutide, stayed at that dose for 6 months, and then made it up to the 10 milligram of tirzepatide? How do they do all of that in 1 year? Like, how many months does it take to get to that? Like, if you titrate on Ozempic's schedule, if you were like, let's give this person the benefit of the doubt that they titrated on Novo Nordisk's schedule of, is it every 4 weeks like it is with Zepbound? Does anybody know the titration schedule for semaglutide? Because in a year's time, because, okay, so what I do know with Zepbound or tirzepatide, the minimum for the titration schedule is every 4 weeks. So 2.5, 5 milligram, 7.5, 10 milligram. So they've been on tirzepatide for at least 4 months. But they were on the highest dose of semaglutide for 6 months before that. So now we're at 10 months. And they said they've been on this journey for at least a year. How did you get... So let's take away the 4 months of Zepbound or tirzepatide. How did you get from the lowest dose of semaglutide to the highest dose and stay at the highest dose for 6 months, all in the 8-month span? I'm not understanding, but maybe we don't need to look that far into it. But the timeline doesn't quite add up in what they're saying. 4 weeks. So, and at the highest dose available for over 6 months. How many doses are in the titration schedule, Jen? How many doses of Ozempic are there? I know this video is long as hell, but y'all still here rocking, so we just going. It doesn't matter really, but I'm just like, this something doesn't add up about this. But they've made it up to the 10 milligram on Zepbound or tirzepatide, and they've been stalled for 2 to 3 months. Now, what I will say is, if you made it to the highest dose of Ozempic, but you start at the lowest dose of Zepbound, there's gonna have to be a transition period where you get caught up, right? Like, if you make it to the highest dose of semaglutide, why would Zepbound 2.5 work for you? So that's 1 month out the window. 2.5 is already it's not expected to work, but it's definitely shouldn't be expected to work if you were on the highest dose of semaglutide. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had a phone call. So there's four doses of semaglutide. Yeah, that timeline doesn't make any sense. That timeline doesn't make any sense. Okay, so anyway, so now that we've established that, okay, whatever, the timeline doesn't make any sense. But giving the benefit of the doubt that this person was on the highest dose of semaglutide for 6 months, why would you think that the lowest dose of tirzepatide is going to work? Like at first, like, why would you think that that's going to work? Like, who's your doctor? Who's your doctor? Who told you that? Right? Like, so so let's say let's just give the benefit of the doubt that she was on semaglutide for 8 months and lost 30 pounds, right? That I would consider that to be slow weight loss, okay? But you then switch to Zepbound and you start at 2.5. You shouldn't expect that to work, okay? So that's 1 month out of the way. She's been stalled for 2 to 3 months. That's 1 month out of the way. Let's say hypothetically you titrate up to the 5 milligram in 4 weeks. That may or may not work. That may or may not work because you were on the highest dose of semaglutide. Let's say month 3 in the month 3 you should only be at a 7.5. I'm still not getting how this person got to a 10, but let's say month 3 you're at a 7.5. That still may or may not work. Month 4 you get to a 10 milligram and you're saying it's not working. I don't know, but I would not expect like the first 2 to 3 months of the transition. I wouldn't expect for that to work. I wouldn't expect for that to work. But Jen said she should have started at the 10 milligram of Zep. I think that probably would have made her sick because it's a completely different medication. So it makes sense to start at the lower dose and titrate up. But now that she's at the 10, she should give the 10 some time to work, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she should just give the 10 time to work, or even go up to the 12. Give it time to work. You had to go through a transition period. Tirzepatide and semaglutide are 2 different medications. So you start at the lowest dose to get it built up into your system. Give it some time. Give it some time to work. You just completely switched. No, she didn't say she started at the 10. She said you know what? She didn't clarify. Now that I think about it, Jen and Team Jesus, she said she's on the 10, but she didn't clarify that she started at the 10. She didn't clarify. Let me see. Unfortunately, now I'm a non-loser. I have been at the same weight now for 2 to 3 months. I met with the Mochi doctor to address this, who recommend I switch to tirzepatide. I'm now on the 11 milligram and still no movement. So maybe she switched. Maybe they did convert her directly to the 10. I wouldn't have done that, but if people are doing that, then go for it. I would have been concerned about the side effects. Like, there's no way I would switch from a 7.5 milligram to a what? To a 0.75 or a 1.4 of Ozempic. I wouldn't do that. Me personally, I wouldn't do that because it hasn't been in my system. So, and then you know what? Maybe the conversion, yeah, right. Okay. So maybe the conversion is better going from Ozempic to Zepbound because Zepbound has the GIP component. So that may help with the side effects. That may help with the nausea and stuff. But there's no way in hell I would switch to a higher dose of Ozempic after being on Zepbound. I would not convert directly to Ozempic at a higher dose because the side effects are worse. Like, there's no way. Okay, so Jen, I got you. I'm following. She started at the 11. Okay. But so what I wanted to get into with this comment was the exercise. So listen to this. They claim they eat well. They drink water. They eat protein. All of that sounds good. Labs are looking good. But I want to get into the exercise because I think this is where the problem comes in. So it says, I exercise almost daily, red flag. Well, no, that's not necessarily a red flag. Let's get into it. It's the type of exercises, and combined with saying daily, that's the red flag. So I exercise almost daily. It became a habit before I started the medication, but in the last 6 months, I've added more intense workouts. So 6 months of a stall and 6 months of, like 6 months ago is when you started working out more. They may be related. So let's listen. I've added more intense workouts. I switch off from hot yoga, sculpt, to Legree, to HIIT, to strength training, walking, yoga, and more. You think with all this physical movement, the scale will move too? No. This person could be overworking themselves and not resting and not recovering. If their workouts are intense like this, multiple like 6 to 7 days a week, you're going to do the opposite of what you're trying to do. You're going to stall instead of losing weight. This person is like overthinking the burning of calories. Like, it's not like they said strength training, but I don't think this is about building muscle. I don't think this is about being active and building muscle and preserving muscle. I don't think that's what this is about. This person is trying to burn as many calories as possible is what I'm getting from this. Because they said you would think with all this physical movement, the scale would move too. No, not necessarily. Should you work out on a GLP-1? Yes, preferably strength training. But just because you overwork yourself, just because you Jillian Michaels yourself, just because you Biggest Loser yourself, don't mean you're going to, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're going to lose more weight. In fact, you're working out so intensely. Are you compensating for that by eating more? This person doesn't say. Because if you're eating enough to meet your minimum, right? But then you go do a HIIT workout, you got to get more calories. Otherwise, you're under eating. So if your baseline is 2,000 calories or 1,800, but then you go do a HIIT workout, I'm confused. Like, why would you think that you don't need to potentially eat more? And this is all speculation, right? I'm just speculating based on the information that they gave. But it was also annoying that they started out by saying fellow slow or non-responders. Those are not the same group of people. Slow responders and non-responders are not the same group of people, and you're saying fellow as if there's a lot of non-responders. If there's even one non-responder in this group, I would be surprised. Because the majority of people are either going to be average or slow. And then few will be above average, and even fewer will be non-responders. But people are just throwing around this term slow or non-responders as if that's just like a given. Like because you're not losing weight, you are a non-responder. I don't think that's how that works. The person could have been overeating as well with all the working out. It could be overeating, or it could be, yes, you're right. It could be overeating or undereating. It could be either one. It could be either one. So let's see what the comments say. You may not be eating enough. You're burning a lot of calories with all the exercise. You may be eating too much even with the exercise. There we go, Jen. Somebody just addressed both of our points in one comment. I'll say it again. You may not be eating enough because you're burning a lot of calories with all of the exercise, or you may be eating too much even with the exercise. Wonderful point. And they refer them to the TDEE calculator. Have you checked your labs for a metabolic disorder? I think that that's overcomplicating things, but it's not a bad idea. I just feel like sometimes the simplest response is the best place to start, right? Good morning, Teddy. We've been on here for a while. If you go back, like when you have time in your day, you got a lot. So Teddy, really quickly, my hips are feeling great. I went ahead and did a walk for an hour and I feel wonderful. So just to catch you up real quick, I did find out today that I have tendonitis. So I'm going to be working on that in physical therapy. But I did test out how I'm feeling after the steroids and I feel great. The closer you get to your goal, the harder it is to get the weight off. You're going to have to make changes. Okay. In the original research studies, the average amount of weight loss is 30 to 35 pounds. Yes, some people lose more and some people lose less or nothing. Maybe you're just average. People got a problem with being average. People don't like being average. Right? For some people, exercise can be really hard on their adrenals and cortisol levels and lead to inflammation. Yes. Have you checked your TDEE numbers? Okay. So, said that to say that, and to be honest, I think that the comments that I read are fairly mild compared to some of the other nonsense that I've seen in this Mochi group, okay? Had I planned ahead, I would have had some of them picked out. But the one about talking about slow and non-responders, talking about my units this, my units that, talking about I lost 50 pounds in 6 months and I'm frustrated. If y'all don't shut the hell up, don't shut up. Definitely ask questions, but y'all need to like chill. Like these people need to chill the hell out. Like everybody take a chill pill. It's not that goddamn serious, okay? Hey, Sandra B. So I got on here really early. Oh, okay. So let me know real quick. I think Sushi Fitness was the only one that answered. Jen, especially you. What do you think? Because you work odd hours. Okay. I'm about to get off of here. So God, I don't want to go to the gym. Jen, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the gym. In fact, let me see if I have some gym shorts in my bag. I don't want to go. Don't make me go. Oh God. Do I have gym shorts in here? I don't want to work out in these sweats. No, I don't. So I have to go home and get some. I don't want to go. I'm going to go to the gym, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I really don't. I really don't. But I better go before I change my mind. Actually, I have to schedule my sauna before I get there. So let me do it now. Let me do it now. See how it works. How it works. How it works. What? 24-hour infrared fitness studio. Infrared fitness studio. That's what I'll call it. I never really know what to call it. I just call it sauna gym. I just call it sauna gym. But yeah, I have to book my sauna before I actually go. Ooh, let me update my weight. I get to update my weight in the app. I'm 188. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Current weight? No, what are you doing? What? Okay. I want to go to this one. Hot ISO is rough. Hot ISO. Y'all know what like isometric exercises are? Like let me give you the definition real quick. So an isometric exercise is an exercise involving the static contraction of a muscle without any visible movement in the angle of the joint. So this exercise style focuses on like tension. So you get into like a particular position or pose and you kind of hold it until it burns. Oh my gosh. The lactic acid. Oh my God. So they have hot iso, hot yoga, hot Pilates. They have cycling, stretching. The stretching one is probably what I'm going to do. They have core workouts, resistance bands, buns, hot blast and thunder. I think those are like rowing or elliptical or whatever. So they have cardio, and then they have some that are stretching as well. Hi Tina, thank you for falling out of the clouds. Zepbound actually cleared up my inflammation. I used to ache so bad, but since I've been taking it, I don't even have to take my anti-inflammatory meds. Okay. Oh, Jen, I was gonna ask about the time of the stream. How do you feel about the earlier stream? I started at about 9:30 a.m. when typically I would start around like 11 or 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. And I think by that time you're like just getting like you're ready to start going to bed and stuff. But how do y'all feel about the 9:30 type morning deal? Let me know, because I really should be working on getting up earlier, but I'm lazy. I really am. So let me I'm gonna do hot stretch. I'm gonna have to share the sauna groups. The next one is at 12. I can't make that one, so I have to go to 1:30. Maybe I'll do hot iso. Oh, it looks like I have to share the sauna no matter what. Hot stretch. Okay. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Let me see. Hot yoga. Okay, the hot yoga sauna is empty, so I'm gonna book hot yoga. So 3 people can fit into a sauna at once, which is fine. I've worked out with other people in there, like usually one other person. But I think that the way that it works, like with socialization, you get to see if someone is already going to be in there. And I think when that happens, most of the time, people aren't going to choose to go to that time slot. So I typically book the ones that have like empty time slots. And if the exercise that I want to do that day, the time slot I want, if it's already booked, I'll just switch the exercise till I find an empty sauna. So I guess I'll be doing hot yoga instead of hot stretch, which is it's gonna be a little hard, but that's fine. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I gotta do that at 1:30. So let me set my alarm, which means I have time to go eat. All right, so let me check my notes real quick. I think I covered everything. The non-responders, the slow responders, comparing yourself when you're on semaglutide, comparing yourself to those on tirzepatide when tirzepatide is a better medication. Not titrating up to the highest doses before complaining about being a non-responder. That's annoying. The quick fix crowd that are just looking to, you know, not really do any work. We got one of those comments. Oh, like that really grinds my gears. That comment that was like, but I've heard, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? No, but I've heard people lose 25 pounds with little to no effort. Come here, come here, come here. Come talk to me real quick. Like if I could do that in these groups, I would. Panicking over a stall, can't define a stall. Mochi support group. Yeah, I covered everything. This was long, but I had fun. I enjoyed my walk too. I was just hot and sweaty. If I'm working from home, the time is good for me, 9:30. I go to bed around 12. I love it. Perfect timing, and I'm off next week. Ugh! I want to be the girly that is up before 9 a.m. But the way my life is set up, I'm lazy. I don't work until 3, so it's hard for me to incentivize getting up before 11. But I'm noticing that I'm running out of time to do shit because I keep getting up late. I'm almost done packing. I'm almost completely done. U-Haul comes tomorrow. I just have a lot of little stuff that I gotta get rid of. Like, oh, I almost had it. Like, I had another overwhelming, I'll say this and I'll get out of here. I had another overwhelming day of packing yesterday where, again, I had 5 trash bags of things to throw away, get rid of. And I mean things that I like aren't usable or resellable or anything. So I just had to get rid of them. Hi, Skullbone. So it was another overwhelming day, but I think I handled it a lot better. So I'm feeling okay. I'm definitely feeling like I made a lot of progress. I'm still selling stuff. I'm happy to donate some other things. Like I said, there's a young lady that I'm helping furnish an apartment. She doesn't know that I'm helping her furnish an apartment yet. But I found out she has her first apartment, so I'm gonna give her a ton of stuff. Like, she's getting everything in my kitchen. I'm probably gonna donate my last TV. I sold 2 TVs to like one person. Like, I have too many TVs. But I have one more, and if she doesn't have one, I'm not even gonna sell it. I'm just gonna give it to her. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I actually have a TV stand too, but that's one of those things where, like, I don't know how she would transport it, so I don't know if she's gonna take that. But I'm happy. I'm wrapping up. I didn't get it. We're doing this, so I haven't had a chance to address my hair. So it is what it is. But I start my house sit on Sunday, so I'm gonna go to South Carolina, drop my stuff off on Saturday. Friday, tomorrow. I will attempt to go live, but the boonies internet be a little like, I need to convince my dad to get Starlink. Starlink is that girl. I love when I go to the mountains and somebody got Starlink. Like the last house I went to in Appalachia, they had Starlink the first time I went, and Starlink was that girl. It was my first time ever using it. I came back, they had Spectrum. Y'all may not know what Spectrum is, but let's just say monopoly over the whole state of North Carolina internet service provider that's absolutely garbage, okay? And my service was terrible. I hated it. Starlink is that girl. So I may have to convince my dad to get Starlink, but I'll try to stream from his house. I won't be there long enough to do a pre-recorded video, so I'll be heading right back to Raleigh on Saturday. I'll finish cleaning up the apartment for the move out, and then I'll start my house sit on Sunday. But my house sit is actually only 15 minutes away from where I live. Like I said, oftentimes I will do local house sits because people have really nice houses, and I like to go to nice houses. Like, if you got a nice house, I will come to your house and take care of your dogs, especially since I don't have an apartment anymore. Like, after these couple of weeks, guys, I don't have an apartment no more. I don't want to say I'm homeless because that would be insensitive, but I am unhoused. Okay, I am unhoused after July. Like, I have a place to call home, but I don't have a home of my own after July. So but I also actually need a break from the house sitting. Like, my very last one will be I think in Kentucky in late September, and I'm really considering canceling that one, which I typically would not do. I've never canceled a house sit, but this dog needs a lot of help, and after Sage, I ain't got time for it. This dog needs a lot of help, and after Sage, after sleep deprivation for like a week and a half, I don't got time. I don't have time to be trying to convince your dog to go for a walk because they don't want to go outside. They get outside and they don't want to go back in the house, or they don't even want to do the walk, like it is a whole entire ordeal, and this dog needs a lot of help, and I just don't think I'm gonna be able to do it, so I might cancel that house sit. But I do need a break. I do need to like sit down in one place for a good amount of time so I can focus on actually putting effort into researching some topics and you know, doing some actual pre-recorded videos versus just going live. Even though people like the lives, it's perfectly fine. I love being live. It's great. If you have any topics that you would like for me to cover, you can email me at vanityreigns@gmail.com. Vanity with an I, okay? Reign, REIGNS, because we're a little vain over here. All right, yes. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm not getting out of here. I say that like I'm exiting. I'm not. Maybe in about another few minutes. But that's pretty much it, I think. What am I missing, Jen? Did I forget to cover anything? What's been in the community lately? Let me check. Y'all out here chefing it up. Who's cooking for me? Where's Journey of Life? Was she here today? I don't think she was. I don't think I saw her. It's too early for her to be here. Well, now it is. Well, now it's not, but earlier it would have been too earlier for her to be here. Let me see what you guys have said in the community. Okay, it was the food. Roasted veggies, beef and rice. Fried fish, salad, maybe a few fries. Jen, I want some of that fried fish so bad. In fact, you know what? If I can, I'm gonna get some tomorrow. Okay, it was the food. My bad. If I can, I'm gonna get some fried fish tomorrow. My dad has there's a fish place that he's been trying to take me to for a long time, but every time I show up, it's a Sunday and they're closed. So tomorrow I'll be getting there on a Friday, and that might be my opportunity to get me some fish and chips. And if I don't get it from there, I'm getting it from Cracker Barrel. Yes, I like Cracker Barrel. I got a bit of an old soul. I got a bit of an old spirit, okay? All right, so tomorrow I might take my injection. I feel pretty good without it right now, though. Being able to eat. But I might take it tomorrow. Like Saturday was supposed to be the day 10. But I might take it tomorrow. Okay? So I'll have to, like, that's probably what my update is going to be tomorrow. Or I might go live while my dad and my boyfriend pack that truck, because I don't want to help at all. I don't want no parts of that. Like, I tried to convince my dad to book labor, like pay people to do this, because that's what I do. I don't work hard. I pay people to do stuff for me. But he didn't want to do that. He's like, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it myself. So he's gonna do that, and my boyfriend should be helping him, and I'm not. I don't know. If I gotta lift a box, I'm gonna come on here cussing. It's my stuff, yes. But if I gotta lift a single motherfucking box, I'm gonna come on here cursing. Do I have a sweet spot for my injection? My sweet spot is, honestly, it used to be my thigh until I got used to doing it in my stomach. So now it depends on what you define as sweet. The most suppression is going to be from my stomach. But if I want to kind of blunt a little bit, if I want to blunt the effects a little bit, I will go to the thigh. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood for like complete and utter appetite suppression. Actually, let me get to where I'm going so I could go to the gym. I got an hour. I got time. But honestly, you said I never use the thigh, back of the arm. I get no suppression and lots of it, food noise. Do you have fat on your thighs, reindeer? Do you still have like any subcutaneous fat on your thighs? I mean, I said any as if like your skinny bones, but I have very big thighs. I have very big thighs, and so I have a lot of room to inject. And when I was on compound, I almost exclusively did my thighs, because when I tried to go into my stomach, it was insane. My symptoms were so wild. My side effects were so wild, and the appetite suppression was just too much. So I didn't like it. I did the back of the arm, and I think because I have loose skin, like literally I've tried the back of the arm twice. One, it hurts, but two, I get no appetite suppression from the back of the arm. Now that was on compound. Maybe I should try Zepbound at the back of the arm and see what happens. That's a good experiment. I should try that. But on compound, I never got anything from the back of the arm, and I just think it's poor absorption because I have loose skin. That's my theory on that. But right now, I just alternate both sides of my abdomen, my lower abdomen. I just alternate both sides, and then every once in a while, when I really just don't feel like dealing with super duper appetite suppression, I'll go back to the thighs. So I guess I would still consider my thighs the sweet spot. My thighs are the sweet spot, but I mostly inject in my stomach because, like I said in a prior live, I'm too lazy to like, I wear sweatpants a lot. So I don't always have easy access to my thighs, which means I gotta go in the bathroom, I gotta undress, get to my thigh, or like not really undress, but like pull it down. I don't feel like doing all that. I like to just, in my kitchen, because I don't have like a lot of people in my house, so it's just me and my boyfriend. So I like to pull my Zepbound out of the fridge, wash my hands at the sink, set up my area right there in the kitchen, and do my injection. And I just lift my shirt up and do it. So it's out of sheer laziness that I do it in the stomach, but it also works out because that's where I get the most appetite suppression. Okay, that's fine. I think I covered everything. I'm gonna get out of here when I get to where I'm going. I'm gonna just go get me a wrap real quick. Like I said, it's a dud with this week and eating out. It's a complete dud. I didn't like, work was a mother effing nightmare. Work was a nightmare yesterday. I did not get to cook dinner. So Jen, great call on the deli meats. I enjoyed some cheese. I bought a block of cheese to cut up. Oh, okay. So Jen, I totally bought, oh God, did the opposite of what you told me to do. So it's because my perception on how much food to buy is very skewed. So I bought more food than I was supposed to. Like, I was supposed to shop for 2 days, but when I got to putting stuff in my Instacart cart, my Publix cart, I still managed to buy too much stuff. It was better, but I still managed to buy too much stuff. Like, I bought enough food for maybe about 4 or 5 days instead of 2 days. So with that being said, I did get some cheese. I got some sliced ham, honey ham, and I had some I got some gluten-free pretzels. So yesterday when I couldn't cook dinner, I ended up eating that. I had cheese, ham, pretzels. I would have preferred crackers, but I haven't found a gluten-free cracker that I like. So to avoid, you know, eating regular crackers, I just went with gluten-free pretzels, and it was just so good. Like, it was so good. It was so filling, and I had me a protein shake. And then when I finally got a break from work, like at 10 o'clock at night, I ended up making me some bacon and eggs. Again, like I said, like, I want to make meatballs, and if I get home in time from the gym, I will do that today. But if I don't do it today, I don't know. You know what? Because I'm coming back to Raleigh, I'll have another opportunity to make it. But work was just a complete and utter nightmare, and I didn't have time to stop and cook until very late in the evening. So by that time, I just made some bacon and eggs real quick. Yeah. Trying to grocery shop for 2 days is like impossible. Like, I don't even know how that works. Like, my best bet is to buy enough food for 1 day, buy 1 meal, cook it, and then eat leftovers. That's the only way that will work. Like, I bought all the ingredients for the meatballs. I already had the gluten-free pasta. I bought all the ingredients for the meatballs. I bought 2 blocks of cheese because they were buy one, get one free. I wasn't about to just get one. I bought 2. I bought some sliced ham. Okay. I don't think I can eat that in 2 days. I think I would eat that in like 4 days. Definitely can't eat the cheese in 2 days. I bought some apple slices to eat with peanut butter. Now, the apple slices, again, I don't even think I can eat that in 2 days. I think I would eat that in about 3 days. What else did I get? I bought some yogurt. Journey of Life was getting on me about my yogurt choice, but I don't like yogurt. I don't really like it. But I recently started drinking the Activia drinkable yogurts. And yes, they do have sugar, but I like them, and it gets me through the morning. It gets me through the morning before I get a chance to cook. So I like those. So I bought those too. But again, it's a pack of like 8, so, or 6 or whatever. So it's not like I could drink all of those in 2 days. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, but it's better. It's better than what I'm used to doing. Like I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I'm at about 4 days of grocery shopping for about 4 days worth of groceries versus like 2 days. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I love snacking on apples and peanut butter, apples and cheese, apples and peanut butter. I like my favorite combination right now is like the fruit and the cheese with the pretzels. So I like my gluten-free pretzels with apple slices, peanut butter, and cheese. But I don't, that sounded nasty. I don't scoop the peanut butter with the cheese. I scoop the peanut butter with the apples, but I still like to have the cheese and the pretzels on the side. I really like that. I did not understand eating cold cheeses as a child. Like I literally could, like my mom would eat, oh my gosh, she would eat cold cheese. And I was just like, why are you this way? Because I grew up on Kraft Singles. You want to melt your cheese into a grilled cheese or a pizza. But it's like cold cheese. Like, why are you eating that? Now that I'm an adult, I get it. Now that I'm an adult, I understand. I love going to the grocery store. I'm there every day. That sounds very traumatic. That sounds very unfortunate. I don't like the sound of that at all. I don't want to do that. But I have to try. Like I have to start. I have to, like I should be making at least minimum 2 grocery trips per week. But I think I should aim for 3. But minimum, it should be 2. There's no reason why I should be buying 7 days worth of groceries at once. But that's how I shop. I've backed up from trying to buy a month's worth of food at once. Like, okay, so even my chicken, right? I typically get my I don't typically get my chicken from the grocery store unless I want to house it. When I'm home, I have chicken that I order from a company. So I order grass-fed organic chicken by the pound, or I think it's like a 30-pound box or something like that. The company's called Butcher Box. Since I'm moving, I don't have a membership anymore. And like there's no reason for me to have a subscription for just me. But I would get about a couple of months worth of like meat at once. So it would be like different varieties of chicken because all I really eat is chicken. But they have plenty of things. They have like salmon and steak and like all different types of cuts of steak and cod and different types of sausages and different cuts of chicken. And so I would buy a lot of chicken at once and just have it in my freezer for a couple months at a time. It's a big deal for me to stop doing that. It's a big deal. I go regularly because I eat a lot of fresh produce and it seems to go bad so quick. Yeah, I think if I ate a lot of produce, then I would be more incentivized to go to the store. But that's rabbit food, Teddy. So do I look like a bunny rabbit to you? Like, no. Have your lettuce and your carrots, and I'm gonna continue to eat my bacon. Let me not lie and say I'm working on it, because I'm not. My alter ego wants to work on it, but me, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not at the point of like it was a big deal for me this year to start eating celery with peanut butter. No, it was last year. I fell in love. It took a couple times. Woo, the first time I bit into a celery stalk, I was like rabbit food. But I started eating it with peanut butter and apples, and I loved it. I fell in love with celery. Haven't had it in a while, so I got to kind of start over, but I think I will be more prepared this time. But celery was like the beginning for me. Now, I've had smoothies with spinach and kale. I've tried eating spinach and kale. I just don't like it. But I was like, okay, well, let's try celery. So celery and peanut butter, I fell in love with that last year. I can't get into carrots. I've tried carrots. I hate it. I hate the texture of a carrot. I don't like it. But the more like raw vegetables are easier, like a salad. is easier for me than cooked vegetables. I don't know why. Like, I used to like broccoli when I was a kid. I used to like greens when I was a kid. I just don't remember. Like, apparently I used to like collard greens, but I don't remember that. But I do remember liking broccoli as a kid. I just don't know at what point in my life that changed. But I haven't been able to eat broccoli as an adult. It's just, oh God, no. I don't like to eat celery, but I love celery juice. Yeah, celery juice is the bomb. Adding celery to a juice is the bomb. And I like to, or I used to like to eat celery last year, but it's been a while, so I might not like it anymore. But I know I can find myself liking it again. But I'm not gonna lie and act like I'm working on my produce. I'm not. And I don't really like fruit like that. I really don't. Like, I like apples. I like watermelon. If I'm desperate, I'll eat like a tangerine. But I like grapes, but I gotta be like really hungry to eat a grape. I don't care for produce. Unless it's a potato. Potato is the best kind of produce. But outside of that, it's just like, no, I don't want it. Roast some veggies with bacon crumbled on it. No, I'm gonna come to Boston and you're gonna roast some veggies with bacon on it, and I'm gonna eat it because I don't want to be rude and throw it away. Like, you have to treat me like a 3-year-old. That's how I gotta do that. Oh, you know what? I have had moments of eating asparagus, but I have to have it with, I like roasted asparagus. I do like roasted asparagus, but like is like, take that with a grain of salt. I can tolerate roasted asparagus with rice. Like I can tolerate roasted asparagus with a starch, preferably with a protein too. But I gotta have like a starch with it to like mask a lot of the taste. But I don't find asparagus to be that bad. I'm just not about to like get it with my meal when I go out. Like, no, ew. And it has to be kind of like on a crunchier side. Broccoli is one that I really want to get into. I struggle with the texture of broccoli. Cauliflower, the devil's work. The devil's work. I tried years ago making cauliflower pizza. It was an abomination. Now, I have family members that like cauliflower rice and cauliflower this, and cauliflower that, and cauliflower. But cauliflower is the devil's work. I don't like it. I want to say your name, but I don't want to butcher it. Is it Trajina? Trahina? I don't know. Can you sound it out for me? Trahina? Trajina? Trajina. That's a very nice name. Thank you. I am happy that you fell out of the class. Thank you for commenting. Are you on a weight loss journey? Are you on a GLP-1? Tell me more. I'm nosy. I want to know all of your business. Trajina. That's funny. That's not exactly what I meant when I said sound it out, but that was funny. Trajina. Okay. Trajina. Okay. Tell me more. Tell me all of your business. Everything. Tell me your darkest secrets. Okay. All right. So all right, who else is gonna fall out of the clouds before I get out of here? I'm about to go. Ooh, let me see if my app is apping. Let me see if my app is apping. My tropical smoothie app. Yo, that smoothie that I had yesterday was bussing. But when I put it in my oh, wonderful. Well, it's okay. We do weight loss without GLP-1s over here too. My cousin that I'm actually, like, I often do my weight loss challenges with, my cousin is not on a GLP-1, but I am. My cousin and my sister. Like, my family members that join me, they aren't on GLP-1s. So welcome to the party. Well, welcome to the party. So here's the thing. Jen, hear me out. Hear me out on this before you go to bed. So, oh, Michelle, are you still here? Michelle, hear me out before you leave, if you're still here. So I had a smoothie yesterday, right? Free smoothie with a food purchase, and I'm about to have another one, but I shouldn't based on what I'm about to say. I had a smoothie yesterday. I went to a place called Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They don't do different size smoothies. All of their smoothies are like this big, right? And remember, we were talking about fructose being a concern with the smoothies and the juicing, and I essentially had the stance like, yes, it definitely is a concern, so I wouldn't do it every day, but on occasion it's okay. Well, I do believe it is okay on occasion. The problem is it's still a lot of sugar. So I tracked my smoothie from yesterday in my app. I'm almost ashamed to even share how much sugar was in that smoothie, and that's if the app is correct. Let me see. And I could pick a less sweet option. I could do that. I actually forgot to tell them. They do this thing where they add sugar to the smoothie in the form of like liquid sugar. And I typically tell them to take it out. And I completely forgot because it's been a while. Tropical smoothie, watermelon mojito. I don't know if this is accurate. It was over 20 grams. It was like triple reindeer. Maybe quadruple. It was a lot of sugar. Like, so to be honest with you, that probably set me back for the rest of the week. Like like that, it was a lot of sugar. And I didn't track it before I bought it. I should have done that. So, matter of fact, let me go to Tropical Smoothies website. Maybe that'll tell me. I mean, that should tell me. Hold on. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Let's see if I can find the nutrition facts. Because the app said like 70 something grams of sugar, and I almost threw up in my mouth. I do a lot of chair exercises off of YouTube. My calculation, BMI, and losing weight is only taking in 1,500 a day to get to my goal weight. Okay. Why the sad face? Thank you, Why So Serious? Hi, Jaden. What is a face squish? Did you ask me that before, or was that somebody else? I don't know what a face squish is. Okay, menu. Nutrition guide. There you go. Let's see. Okay, so acai berry boost is one that I typically like. Okay. And when I say typically, like, I rarely ever get a smoothie because of this. But oh my god, I'm gonna faint. Oh my god. I didn't know it was this bad. I shouldn't have looked. Oh my god, this should be illegal. You should not be able to sell people this. 86 grams of sugar. And that's not even the one that I had. I've never looked at this before. I just kind of intuitively know that that smoothies have a lot of sugar, so unless I make it myself, I typically don't have one. And if I do, it's a treat. So I had one yesterday, and before that, it's probably been several months since I've had a smoothie. But this is why, even though I've never looked at their actual, I'm mad as hell now. I don't even think the one that I had is on here because it's a limited edition or limited time. I had a watermelon mojito. I don't think that's on here. No, it's not on here. Okay. I'm not going to have another smoothie. That's crazy. So let me see what's the lowest sugar one that they have. And why are you putting Splenda into a smoothie? Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Is it because it's not, the fruit is not sweet enough without it? So the lowest one that they have is 73 grams, and that's like the one that's like mostly berries, but that's still too high. And all of these smoothies are like 400, 500, 300 calories. The highest one is 600 calories, but that's because it has avocado, and avocado is high in fat. But none of these are worth it. Like, so if I'm gonna have a smoothie, I should be making it myself, but I can't because I gave away my blender. So I'm probably done with the smoothies moving forward. Not to say I'll never have one again, but it's not worth this. Like, this is insane. Like, this should be a crime to serve people this. That should be a damn crime. I think Monday you start over. So it's time you make your own. I can do the Greek yogurt. Hi, Miss Sharon. They said natural honey in a smoothie is healthy. Honey is another one that trips people up. Honey, just because it's natural doesn't mean it's not loaded with sugar. So honey, I mean, you can have honey as a treat, but be careful with honey because it's loaded with sugar just like fruit. It is sugar. It's 100% sugar, actually, honey. Yeah, Miss Sharon, I'm going to the gym after I get off of here. Honey in moderation, fruit in moderation, fruit juice in moderation, smoothies and fruit juice, ideally make it yourself at home so you can control the amount of fruit that you put in and you won't add any extra sugar like they do. But I'm telling y'all, it's so good. It's like addictive. It's so delicious. The smoothies are good, but they're just sugar bombs. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. It's fine. I can live without it. I don't think I'm gonna buy another blender either. If I end up with one, it's because my dad bought it. I'm not buying another blender. I'm not buying another. I already have too much stuff and I'm only gonna be in one bed. I don't know where I'm supposed to put all my, I have like 7 boxes and I have 1 bedroom. Where am I supposed to put this stuff? I don't know. Y'all are gonna help me. I'm gonna go live while I unpack and y'all can help me decide what to do with my nonsense. I use frozen. When I do make a smoothie myself, I use frozen. Because the fresh ones, well, because I like my smoothie cold and kind of like, I like my smoothie frozen. I don't like to add ice to my smoothie, so I just use fruit already frozen. I don't like to add ice to my smoothie. So Michelle, Michelle, oh my gosh. We're talking about the smoothie that I had yesterday had almost 75 grams of sugar in it. So I can't have any more smoothies. Unless I make it myself. Michelle. Because you said smoothies or juice, but you didn't say it had to be 98% fruit. Like, so that was me. I wanted the smoothie. I had it. It was like mostly fruit and added sugar. They added sugar to it. I don't know why they did that, but they added sugar to it. So it was too high in sugar, so I'm not gonna have another one. If I do have a smoothie, it'll be one that I either make myself or I'll have to find it. I'll have to, because I've definitely been to smoothie places that offer different sizes. And if I'm gonna have one, it should lean more toward a green smoothie and have less fruit and definitely no added sugar. I don't like kale, but I'll put kale in a smoothie with no problem. I just don't like it. But I prefer spinach. Going to drop off the live stream, going to join the meeting. Thank you so much for joining me, reindeer. I'll see you in the next one. I'm a slow responder, but continuing my journey, I'm doing all the right things, but the scale not moving. I think you meant scale. I weight training, intermittent fasting. Sharon, are you sure you're eating enough? Because a lot of times when we intermittent fast, we are cutting our calories by default. So there's a good chance you might not be eating enough, but we could definitely talk about it on a different live stream because I'm about to get out of here. I guess I can do a Q&A. This was originally supposed to be a Q&A, but I got all the way down the rabbit hole with Mochi, non-responders, slow responders, and the nonsense. The Mochi support. Is anybody here in the Mochi support group? Tragina, about the scale, it depends on the person. You can track your weight loss multiple different ways. I'm the type of person that weighs in every day, but I only count the weigh in on the 7th day. So when I'm tracking my weight in my app, I only count every 7 days that as my official weigh-in. But I step on the scale every day and it's perfectly fine for me. People that don't understand the fluctuations in body composition, that can, like the weight changing every single day or not changing at all, can stress you out. So yeah, you can get on the scale if you like, but it's not necessary. It just depends on your preference. I weigh monthly. I need to only do it once a month. Okay. Just moved up to 7.5. I've been on a 7.5 for almost over 6 months. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle. I weigh in every day, but I only count once. So I count at least 4 weigh-ins per month. At least 4. But I don't say avoid this, like just like on one end of the extreme, you can weigh in every day or multiple times a day and stress yourself out. You can weigh in never, and avoiding the scale can be just as toxic. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you feel like there's something to be afraid of on the scale, that can be just as unhealthy as over obsessing on the scale. So the place it's a spectrum, and you find your happy place on that spectrum. You find your happy place, y'all. When I tell y'all, I'm lollygagging because I don't want to get out this car. I don't want to go to this gym. I'm not even at the gym yet. I'm here to get something to eat and then go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Oh my God, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Don't make me do stuff. I don't want to be responsible. After I just talked all that shit about people being slow responders but not doing the things that they need to do, I don't even want to. I don't consider myself a slow responder. My weight loss slows when I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing, and the second I change it, I start losing weight again. So it's just a matter of me doing what I'm supposed to do. That's how I feel. For me, that's how I feel. I got this. I'm gonna do it. Oh God, I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna go do some hot yoga. That's what I'm doing today. So let me get out of here. I am flabbergasted by the amount of sugar in that smoothie from yesterday, so I will not be having any more in the near future. I won't be having any more smoothies from Tropical Smoothie Cafe, but I will see if I can find a place that doesn't do added sugar and has a combination of produce that is lower on the sugar, and I probably will lean more toward a berry filled smoothie versus like the higher sugar fruits like mangoes, pineapples and things like that, oranges. So if I want to have a smoothie, it would be better to lean more toward berries, blueberries, strawberries, acai berries, and yogurt. And as a mixer, that's another thing I forgot. A lot of these smoothie places, for their liquid, they'll use juice instead of water. Ugh! So that's another thing. Okay, so I gotta find a better smoothie place. I still have my juice place, and when I get my fresh juice, it's made with kale, cucumbers, and a bunch of other stuff. So that one I do like. Matthew, laughing my ass off. Sugar from fruits are good for you. Explain that to me. Tell me more. Good for you? How? I got time. Now you don't. Now you're gonna come in here with me. You're gonna come in here with me now because we're gonna talk. Good for you? How? Tell me more, so that I can tell you how it's not good for you. But since it's so funny, thank you for your comment, by the way. I hope you're subscribed, because the rule over here is you got to be subscribed before you start talking shit. Not to say that you are, but just in case you plan to. Don't leave, Matthew. Tell me more. How is sugar from fruit good for you? And then I'll explain to you how it's not. And we'll see who makes the better argument. It's not an argument, but we'll see who has the better point. And then I'll get out of here. Oops. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I got time. I don't have to be at the gym for another hour. Tell me more. No, I don't like Dr. Umar. Why would you ask me that? What does Dr. Umar have to do with anything? No, I don't like that. I don't like or dislike him. I know who he is, but I don't watch his content or anything. We're waiting for Matthew to tell us how the sugar from fruit is good for you. Your mama is a black trader. Is a black trader. How about that? Yo, daddy if you had one, is a black trader. How about that? Okay. I don't even know if you're black. Talking about some black trader. Are you even black? Shut the hell up. Shut up. Matthew, are you still there? If you're not, I'm gonna go. Or if you don't want to tell us how, you know what? Let me just go ahead and make my point so I can get out of here. So, hope y'all can hear me okay, because I just switched my headphones. Trigina, people been bothering me all day. Talking about my hair, talking about my weight, talking about everything. Just they've been bothering me all day, and I'm just like, don't you have somebody else's business to mind? Like, please, why are you bothering me? So anyway, fructose, right? Because Matthew says that sugar from fruit is good for you, and then laughs about it. And I just wanted to know what was funny. Your mother's disappointed in you. You didn't hear me the first time? Why are you here? Go away. Go away. So anyway, so fructose, right? So Matthew says that the sugar from fruit is good for you, but then like I wanted Matthew to specify because I was gonna ask, okay, so what is fruit? One, what is fruit sugar actually called? But Matthew didn't come back, so the answer is fructose. Secondly, what does it do in the body? How is it used? How is it metabolized, right? Where is it stored? What does it do? How does it utilize, right? But we didn't get that answer from Matthew. And how does it benefit you? We didn't get that answer from Matthew. Okay, so let me just go ahead and answer that real quickly before I get out of here. So one, fruit sugar is called fructose. There is no biological need for fructose. There isn't. There's a biological need for glucose. Okay? It's a life or death need for glucose. There's no biological need. Hi, Journey of Life. You missed the stream, but you got a lot to catch up on, girl. So just put it on in the background as you run your errands, take care of the baby. It's a long stream. I got to walk. My hips feel great. We talked about a lot. So just play it in increments throughout your day. You got a lot to catch up on, but thank you for joining. So fructose, no biological need other than the sweetness and the taste, right? First of all, there's different types of sugars, right? Glucose, lactose, fructose. There's different types of sugar, right? Glucose is the one that you have a biological need for. Fructose is not. The only real purpose that fructose serves for us is the sweet taste, right? So if you could think about what would incentivize you to eat fruit and put on body fat during times of scarcity, it would be the sweet taste of the fruit, right? So, okay. All right, cool. I thought it was too early for you. Okay. And you don't have to work too hard with moderation. Enjoy the stream. I don't mind cursing people out. Okay. I don't mind. So if you want to block people for fun or time them out, that's fine. Not for fun, but you know what I mean? Like if you feel like somebody's getting out of hand, do your thing. You got the wrench, you do what you do. But I don't mind cursing people out, okay? So, okay, so back to fructose, right? So fructose is fruit sugar, right? We all follow? Now, when the person says that, or anybody says that fruit sugar is good for you, they would have to qualify what good for you means, right? Because I can tell you that fructose is only processed in one part of the body, and that is the liver. Whereas with glucose, it'll go to your cells, it'll go to your muscles, it'll be in your bloodstream. Glucose goes everywhere and is metabolized everywhere, okay? Fructose only metabolized in the liver, right? Only metabolized in the liver, okay? Now, when you have too much fructose, when you have too much of it at once, what does the body do with it? It stores it as fat. Yes? Everybody following me? It stores it as fat. Has anybody ever heard of fatty liver disease? Most likely alcoholic fatty liver disease, right? that happens from, and you can have fatty liver even if you're not an alcoholic or anything like that, but I'm just giving an example because that's probably the one that people have mostly heard of. When you have too much fructose in the liver, your liver starts to turn it to fat and store it as fat in the liver, or stores it as fat, or converts it to fat and sends it to other parts of the body, right? That's how you get fat in different parts of your body. But outside of that, there's really no role for fructose in the body, and only the liver can process it, which means that if you have too much of it, you can overburden your liver. Where in any of that did anybody hear where fructose, right? Because here's the thing, when people say fruit sugar, because he didn't say fruit is good for you, he said fruit sugar, sugar from fruit. That's what he said. He didn't say fruit is good for you, because when you think about fruit in whole, then you have to include fiber, in which case I would agree fruit is good for you. If you include the fiber along with the fructose, so if you eat like a whole orange versus an orange juice, a whole orange would be fiber and fructose, whereas orange juice would just be the fructose minus the fiber. But he didn't say that. He said fruit. He said sugar, fruit sugar. So we're just talking about the fructose. So quite literally, we're just talking about a glass of orange juice. We're just talking about a glass of orange juice, okay? So when a person says that that's good for you, what exactly are they talking about? How is a glass of orange juice good for you? Don't tell me vitamin C. Do not tell me vitamin C, because you can get vitamin C by eating the whole orange, okay? Don't tell me vitamin C. You can get vitamin C by eating some kale. Don't tell me vitamin C. How is a glass of orange juice or a glass of apple juice good for you? If you eat one apple, you get the fructose from that apple and you get the fiber. But if you want a glass of apple juice, don't you have to juice like 4 or 5 apples? And you're just getting the sugar, right? But sugar from fruit is good for you. How's it good for you? What does it do for you? What does it do for you? Except turn to fat because you have too much of it in the liver. So that's my mini lesson from Venetian University. Thank you for coming, everybody, turning their assignments and all of that on your way out. I just wanted to clarify, and I wanted to understand what this person was trying to say, since it was so funny, right? Because I'm sitting here talking about, I had a smoothie with 80 grams of sugar in it. What's 80 divided by 5 real quick? Does anybody know? Divided by 10, it's 8. So what's 80 divided by 5? Tell me, help me out. Help me out. How many teaspoons? No, actually it's divided by, I think there's 4 grams of carbs and 1 teaspoon of sugar. I think it's about 4, not 5. 25? Okay. So that's 25 teaspoons of sugar in one smoothie. And that's funny. That's 25 teaspoons of sugar in one smoothie, in one drink. And that's funny. It's funny, ha ha ha, but it's good for you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. And had he actually participated beyond just the ha ha ha, but it's good for you, then I wouldn't be like having this attitude right now. It would have just been like, okay, well, let's talk about it. You make your point, I make my point, and then we'll see who has the better point. But he didn't stay to defend his point. So now it's like, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. No. You stop listening if you can't take me saying shut up. Scroll up to the next video. Scroll up. Let me see what y'all talking about. Thank you for coming to Venetian University. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Yeah. OJ is full of sugar. Yeah. Hi, David. Thank you. What are you so mad about? Do you think this is anger? This is my personality. You think I'm upset? Not mad. There's no anger. What are you talking about? This is how I am. I go from, hi, Michelle, to shut up. to somebody else. like I'm not angry. I just make more sense than the person that thought it was funny to drink 75 grams of sugar in one drink, 25 teaspoons of sugar. It is called sass. Anger. What? How could I be angry? That's craziness. Oh my gosh. Like, ugh, gross. Super gross. You know, so, but I just think it's funny that, like, you're on somebody else's live stream asking them why they're so mad when you could just exit stage left and remove yourself from all of my anger. Now, I was only being so sassy about it because I listen, I would prefer to have engagement. No, this is not an orange juice. This is not an OJ ad. I can't I don't advertise orange juice. It's not an ad. It's me saying that orange juice isn't good for you. That's not an advertisement. What? I'm starting to think some of y'all got comprehension issues. Oh, I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, I'm only being sassy because I'm over here minding my GOP1 business. I'm over here minding my black fat shot business. Okay. I'm over here minding my vain business. Okay. People come over here talking shit to me and I just talk shit back and I'm just better at it. That's all it is. Like you can respond with the Twitter fingers or the YouTube fingers or whatever you want to call it. You can respond, but people don't. They just say what they got to say and then they move on. And it's just like, okay, well, now I'm going to take 10 minutes out of my life and address what you had to say. It's that simple. That's all. That's all. But thank you so much. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I only stayed on here a few extra minutes to address that comment. But hey, Kat, I'm so sorry you're catching us at the end. But if you have time throughout your day, just throw on the live while you're cleaning or running your errands or going to the gym or whatever. We talked about a lot. There's a lot to catch up on. But I'm glad you caught us at the end. Kat, I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but I'm going to start going live earlier. Well, right now I'm all over the place and I'm going to continue to be all over the place. But I kind of liked going live around 9:30 today. That was pretty, I kind of enjoyed that. So I think I'm going to start going live earlier. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I'm in Eastern time. Okay. But yeah, if you have time, definitely catch up on the live stream. My eyes are starting to hurt. I'm getting a bit of eye strain. So I'm going to get out of here. Definitely make sure y'all like the stream. In case you don't know, as soon as I'm done with the live, it automatically goes to private. So I have to go back in and set it to public. So I will be doing that. If you can't see the comments, it's because the video is processing. YouTube is very slow, so it takes about a full day to process before you can see all the comments during the live stream. But I'll go back in and I'll make it public so that y'all can go back and watch the parts that you missed. If you have anything that you would like me to cover, if you have any content ideas, not content ideas, but video ideas that you would like me to do, questions you would like me to answer, or videos you would like me to review, you can send me an email. Let me put it in the chat. If I can find my other phone. Uh-oh, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, I lost my other phone. Nope, I lost it. Oh, I think I lost it. I think I lost it. vanityreigns@gmail.com. I don't know what I did with my phone. I lost it. Okay, vanity, VANITI, Reigns, REIGNS. Vanity Reigns. I'm tired. I'm like crashing right before y'all's eyes. I'm tired. I'm tired. But I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go get me something to eat and I'm gonna go to the gym. If you respond, she will eat you up like a shark. What? I don't even think it was that bad. Was it that bad? I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it's that bad. Okay. I don't want to feel like I don't want to discourage people from commenting. I'm okay. It's when I can tell when people are being smart Alex through their comment. Like I can tell when they're being smart Alex or passive aggressive or just plain out nasty. But most of the time people are just being a smart ass and I'm just better at it. That's all. So if you're going to be a smart ass, one, at least subscribe, but two, be prepared to defend what you're saying because I'm going to say something and I'm going to be better at it. That's what it is. Oh, congratulations. I hope everything went well for her. I'm assuming WLS is weight loss surgery. I hope that went well, and I hope she's doing okay, and I hope her results are really good when she does her recovery, if that's what you meant, Kat. And definitely keep us updated. Would y'all like a topic on like weight loss surgery versus GLP-1s? Would y'all be interested in that? I love the idea of like bariatric surgery. Like I haven't gotten it, but I often watch 600 Pound Life, so I'm very familiar with it. I'm very familiar with it. Versus like lipo, right? Like because I'm interested in lipo. I am when I get closer to my goal weight. That'll really trigger some people. Like if me talking about sugar, fructose, like people get real bent out of shape about fruit. Like you cannot even remotely suggest that fruit might be dangerous for some people because people get all bent out of shape. Nutrients, vitamins, like please, isn't like, listen, whatever. But I'm definitely interested in lipo. So bariatric surgery, cosmetic surgery, weight loss medications. I think that would be a good topic to cover all three in one live stream. I think that'll be a good idea. All right, so let me get out of here. Thank you. Our juice places. Our juice places. Oh. Quench and pliable are juice places. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Journey of life. Trigina, you're new. At least you're new commenting. Thank you so much for participating. Kat, thank you so much for joining. Michelle, of course, thank you. Joshua, why we mad at sugar when listen. Joshua, I was just responding to somebody. Don't mind me. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Bookworm, even though you said I'm so mad, I'm not, but thank you for joining. Jen and everybody else that, hi G's, you catching me at the end. You got a lot to catch up on, so you might have to listen to it in parts. You're scared of both topics of bariatric surgery and cosmetic surgery? Really? I'm getting me some lipo. I can't wait. I'm literally getting lipo like not the second, but like once I get to my goal weight, I will be on the quest to find a plastic surgeon. You do not understand all that weight loss surgery? Oh, I could talk about that. I'm pretty familiar with it. We'll talk about it. All right. So definitely set your notification bell, Trigina, because I will like set your notification bell because that's how you'll know when I'm live. Also keep an eye out for my community tab post. The only problem with that is I don't often know when I'm gonna go live until I'm going live. Like I typically don't know when I'm gonna go live until like an hour before. So I've been playing it by ear day to day. So you have to set your notifications so that as soon as I go live, you'll be notified. And we can totally talk about that tomorrow, assuming I have service when I get to where I'm going. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. I've said that 15 times now, so I'm just gonna say bye. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.